Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tracy in LA, the podcast. We're now on episode 33. And guess what? I'm $40 in the positive right now. It's funny how excited I am about that because I feel like I've been in the negative lately. Last time I was in the negative by $100, I think. And I've bought quite a few things since then. So it's pretty crazy that I'm $40 in the positive. Most people would probably be like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? You only have $40. That's all you have to your name is $40. And I'm over here like, guys, I have $40. I'm literally going to go to a ballet class on Tuesday that costs $25. And I'm going to do that, even though all I have is $40 because I'm in my mana season and God has told me to not try to budget out my money because I couldn't anyways. What could I do with $40? Like, I have bills coming up. I have my car insurance bill, August 2nd coming up. That's like $100. And I'm going to have to pay for gas probably in a few days. It's like $50. I can't budget $40. Basically, I just continuously trust for God to provide for everything I need. And when I've prayed about it, I felt like he said, just do anything you're feeling led to do, including classes you want to take, and watch him replenish the money, watch him provide. He's been doing that so far. You guys know the windshield story. He literally provided almost the exact amount of money, $550 that I needed the very next day after I put it on a credit card the day before. So we are living in a crazy mana season right now where God's providing everything I need as I need it. And my normal brain would say, okay, even in this crazy season, but I still would not want to buy anything that's not necessary. Like I should probably be buying the bare minimum of everything and anything. And I should be saving as much as possible. Well, not saving because I'm not saving, but I should just, basically not be spending money unless I absolutely have to. But when I've prayed about it, God keeps reminding me, Tracy, you're not poor. You're just in a mana season. So you don't have to scrimp and scrounge with everything. Like just do what you feel led to do. And I'm going to replenish it. And you're kind of super rich because you kind of have unlimited money because I keep just replenishing it. That's what I feel like he's telling me. I literally feel like he told me once you have more money in a different season, when you're not in a mana season anymore, you may not even feel as rich as you are right now because then you will really have to budget money. Because I do believe budgeting money and handling money well is something that we should do. And I think that God is pleased with that type of thing. I'm just in a weird season where I'm in a mana season, and there might be a few of you out there that are also in a season like this, but probably the majority of you are not. But I still want to share all these stories because I think it can encourage your faith. Even if you're not in the same exact season as me, you still could have anxiety about money or wonder if God's going to provide. So I feel like God is allowing me to be in this extreme season, but to encourage anyone listening, no matter what season they're in, to have faith about money, to have faith in God that he's going to provide, and to really live by the Spirit, like whatever God's putting in your heart to do. Again, I don't think that means just like buying anything and everything. I think we should be prayerful about what we do, but I have really prayed about dance classes and things like that, and I feel very called to dance. And I do try to go to free classes when I can, but sometimes I can't always get a free class. And I just feel like God told me, don't let that stop you. Go where you think you should go. Like, obviously, I can't go to dance class all the time. I have lots of other things to do. But I'm on the West Side right now, house sitting, and I really want to take a ballet class at West Side Ballet because I used to go to class there like 2 or 3 times a week a long time ago, and I really miss taking ballet as much as I used to. And I do go to free ballet, which Los Angeles Ballet puts on a free ballet class twice a month, and I love that. It's always usually a different teacher, which it's good to have the same teacher every time so you can really get better at certain things, but it's also good when you have classes that have different teachers all the time because then it trains your brain in a different way to really be ready and prepared, or not really prepared, but like just ready to do whatever they ask you to do. Okay, I'm going to have to turn on my air. I literally turned off the air for a little bit, even though it's like 85 degrees outside, because I really was trying not to run my car, but I'm getting heated right now. So we are going to turn my car on. Okay, and we're back with the air condition on. But yeah, I'm going to go to a ballet class that costs $25 when I only have $40. I don't want to say I only have $40. I literally have $40 right now. I'm so excited about that. I've already spent money on stuff that I didn't know how God was going to provide, and he's already provided for it to the point where I'm now in the positive. So I'm trusting he's going to keep doing that. And if somehow he doesn't want me to do certain things or spend money on certain things, I feel like he's going to show me that. I'm not trying to just do whatever I want and go crazy with money. I definitely don't do that. I'm definitely on the opposite side of the spectrum with that type of thing. So that's why I feel like God is encouraging me to have a little more faith and just do what is in my heart to do, even if it's kind of expensive dance classes, but really pray about everything and choose things purposefully, not just like picking classes randomly, but really having intentional reasons for why I'm choosing different classes and going to those and praying about if I should go back to that class and that type of thing. Like, is this helping me grow? I feel really called to dance. I feel really called to teach and choreograph and meet dancers for my podcast. So this all fits in with God's calling in my life. And I feel that he's going to provide for everything. Even with all of that feeling in my soul, I still am like, can I really do this? This seems crazy. But I feel like God said, well, why don't you just experiment with spending money on anything you feel led to spend money on and then see what happens by your birthday. So my birthday is August 1st, and I don't know, maybe some people will send me money on my birthday. I would love that. Venmo at Tracy in LA, TracyInLA. Or maybe he's just going to do something else by my birthday. But I felt like he said, why don't you experiment with it and just pay for anything you feel led to pay for. And then let's talk again after your birthday. I mean, I talk to God all the time, but let's talk again about your money situation and what I'm telling you to do with it and that type of thing. But literally $40 in the positive, and that's after I paid for my new DJI mic, which this is actually not. This is still my roommate's mic. So what happened, if you were following my Instagram stories, you might already know this, but basically we thought my roommate's mic that I was borrowing, because my DJI mic, the version 1, broke, finally completely broke. Like I can't use it anymore unless it starts working randomly again. But I wanted the newer version because I can use it. It's easier for my Dance Journey podcast because I can put each voice on 2 different tracks so that when I'm editing, if someone's quieter or louder, I can just like raise their whole track instead of manually doing every little time they talk and that type of thing. So I'm really excited to have a better version of this mic, but I never really had enough money to get it. So I wasn't getting it. I was just spending hours and hours and hours and hours sometimes editing the Dance Journey episodes. And that's why I got really behind, because they take me so long when the audio is off a little bit. But I was like, well, I don't have the money for that, so I'm just going to keep going like this. But then when my microphone totally broke and I kind of had an emotional breakdown because I'm like, I don't have money for a new microphone. My roommate was so encouraging to me because not only did she already have a newer version of the DJI mic, she also was like, maybe this is God's way of just telling you to buy a new mic because you really wanted the newer version anyway, so that your podcast editing is easier. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's a nice way to look at it. Wish she gave me the money to buy it. But again, God keeps encouraging me to get what I need and then watch him provide for it. And I've never been someone that's just put money on a credit card. That feels crazy to me. I was never taught to do that. I was always taught you never use a credit card because you don't have the money. The only reason to use a credit card is just to build credit, but you better already have that money in your account to pay it off like the next day. You should not just put money on a credit card because you don't have the money, unless it was some, medical emergency where you absolutely had to, but you would never want to do that. And if something like that happened, that would be horrible. You should never be in debt or credit card debt. That's crazy. And I still don't want to be in credit card debt. So I would like put stuff on my credit card and be like, okay, God, I hope you're not leading me into credit card debt, because that doesn't seem like a really nice thing to do if you really love me, And I know a lot of people are in credit card debt, and God might be speaking to you something else about that. I think that God speaks to us each differently depending on our personalities and how he's trying to grow us and where we're at spiritually and that type of thing. So for me, I think he's pushing me to put stuff on credit cards to trust he's going to provide for it. Whereas someone else who might be in a bunch of credit card debt, maybe God is leading you to not purchase so many things and start to slowly pay it off and trust him that he's going to help you pay it off and listen to his ideas he gives you and that type of thing. So there's all kinds of wisdom with money. I don't think the general wisdom is to put money on a credit card. I think God is just really testing my faith. And so that's what we're doing. That's what I'm trying to do. But it is crazy because my roommate said that and I was like, okay, yeah, I guess I have to order this. And it was nice that I was able to borrow her DJI mic, which we thought was version 3. So I was like, okay, yeah, of course I would want the most recent version, and that is version 3. So I liked hers a lot. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy version 3 on Amazon, even though I don't have the money. I'm going to put it on credit card. And yeah, I posted on Instagram if anyone wants to donate. I mean, I never want anyone to feel pressured, or I'm sure people might be annoyed when I post stuff like that. But I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm doing a lot of stuff and it all costs money and I don't really make money. And I'm trying to help the dance community get to know each other by doing the dance journey episodes and letting everyone share their story. And that's something that costs me money and time, and I don't get paid for that. And I'm just trying to help the community connect with each other and get to know each other better, so there's an even stronger sense of community in the dance world in LA. And it's a long project that could take the rest of my life because there's so many dancers, and I would also love to go to other cities and stuff in the future, but this is where we're at now, and I love LA and I love doing this in LA. And so there are a good amount of people listening, and I do sometimes put it out there like, hey, if someone wants to donate, because I love doing it, but like the reality is I do need money for things. I need money to live, and this takes a lot of my time. And then with my personal podcast, there are quite a few people listening to this as well who really like it and are encouraged by it. And never would I expect someone, like, nobody has to give me money for this, but if you're feeling compelled or you want to help me out so I can keep going, because all of this does take a lot of time, I really, really appreciate it. And again, as mentioned, my birthday's coming up August 1st. So yeah, would love any sort of money gift or any sort of dance gift card. I would love that as well too. Like any of the studios, Millennium, Team Millie, West Side School of Ballet, why am I blanking out on all of them? Movement Lifestyle. I don't know. There's anything you want. I would love to get dance class gift cards as well. That'd be a really fun way for me to like be forced to try different classes as well at different studios that I haven't been to in a while. So anyway, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah. So I ordered the DJI mic version 3, but then when I got it, it came right away. When I got it in the mail, it was really weird looking. It didn't look like my roommates. The mics were really tiny. So these ones, they kind of have like a good amount of space to hold them with your hands, which I like to do because it just provides a much clearer sound for the podcast versus like putting it on your shirt. But the DJI Mic 3, they're really tiny. It's kind of hard to just hold them. They could just fall out of your hand pretty easily. They're also very light, to the point where I feel like it's hard to hold and they could fall easily. So I looked at it and I'm like, okay, I think my roommate doesn't have the version 3. I think she has version 2. And I was like, okay, I don't like to return stuff. I'm like, this is the newer version. It's probably better in some other ways. I'm just going to keep it. Maybe I'll go back to putting it on shirts. Maybe we'll start magneting to the shirts again. Like maybe the sound is really good on the version 3 and we don't really have to hold them. But then I put the poofs on and I was like, okay, you can kind of hold them with the poofs. They're kind of easier to hold when you put the poof on. But then the poofs were really, really hard to get on and off on the version 3. Even my roommate and I were trying so hard. I'm like, I'm gonna need your guys' help because I've been working on this for 15 minutes and looking up YouTube tutorials. I do not know how to get this freaking poof off after I put it on. Not that I really need to take them off because I generally always use them, but I want to know that I can take them off. It also came with 2 different colors for no reason. And I was like, what if I want to switch the color? Like I want to be able to take these off. And it was really hard. Eventually my roommate got it. My roommate just helps me with everything. She's just amazing. But yeah. Oh, and then, so I was still going to keep the version 3 because I was like, oh, it's still probably better. It was really only maybe $20 more expensive than version 2 with the deals and the sales that were going on for both of them on Amazon. But I was like, I do think it's better. I should probably keep this one. But then as I was trying to test the mics at one point, I realized it doesn't come with the connector for my phone because I have a 13 mini and it only comes with like the adapter that goes into the port for the newer phones. And I'm like, oh my gosh. There's even a slot for that adapter in the case, but it doesn't come with it. And like my version 1 came with both adapters so that you could use whichever one you needed. And so did the one my roommate had, which we figured out was actually version 2. She thought it was version 3, but it was version 2. And then version 3 doesn't come with that. So I'm like, oh, now I have to order this. But I still was going to keep version 3. I still wasn't thinking about changing it to version 2. I'm like, no, this is the one I ordered. Like, I'm just going to keep it. It's probably better in different ways. It's version 3. And so I was looking up the part to order, and that was like $30. And I realized it wasn't by the DJI brand on Amazon. I'm like, well, I want to find it from DJI. I don't want to just get it from a random person. I mean, it's probably fine. But so then I ended up just going to the DJI website to get it. I'm like, maybe I should just get it here. There was only $20, but they were out. They're sold out. I'm like, of course they're sold out because it doesn't come with the DJI mic version 3. So of course it's sold out because everyone needs to buy it. And so that's why there's this random seller on Amazon selling it. And even those were like low in stock. And I'm telling my roommate this whole issue. And she's like, well, do you want to just, and I already ordered it. I already ordered the $30 part because in my mind, I didn't want to return what I already bought. And my roommate's like, don't you think you should just return the mic and just get the version 2? Didn't you like the version 2 when you used mine? I was like, yeah. And honestly, I liked it better because it was a little bit larger. You can hold it easier. The poofs are easy to come on and off. And it comes with both the adapters. So yeah, because at some point I'm now spending, $50 more on this because I have to order this adapter. And it's not even by the brand name, which feels weird. And yeah, she encouraged me, even though I had already taken everything out of the package, took everything apart, put it in different cases in my little podcast bag, and I had it all organized. I think that's why I didn't want to return it. I'm like, I already did all this. I already set it all up. Like, it took me so long. It took me a whole 7 minutes to do that. She's like, yeah, it makes sense to return it. I'm like, yeah, I really like my roommate who gives me good money wisdom. I'm like, yeah, why am I trying to keep this thing I don't even like that much? I don't even like these tiny mics. So why am I trying to keep this? And I looked up why they're better, and it wasn't much. It seems like everything is mostly the same, except I think the version 3 allows you to be like further away from the receiver. Like the transmitters are the ones you hold, and the receiver is the thing plugged into my phone or plugged into a camera. And I think the version 3 allows the transmitters to be like even further away from the phone. But as we know, I don't need this. I don't need that because I do this in my car and I'm very close to the phone. I'm very close to the camera. So yeah, I went ahead and returned it, went to Whole Foods to do the Amazon return. I put everything back in the package as best as I could. And I also had to cancel the order for the adapter because I'd already ordered that. I think I was able to cancel it before they sent it, but even that, I'm still waiting on the refund. I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyway, I am $40 in the positive still after ordering that stuff. I haven't even gotten the refund back yet. So once I get the refund, I'll exchange it for the other one, whatever. But just saying, even after I bought that, I'm still in the positive. And that's partly because when I asked people if they wanted to donate, I got about $150 in donations from a few people, like total. So that was really, really nice. So thank you guys. You know who you are. I appreciate it. And then this week I'm cat sitting. So I got a little bit of money from that. And also it just so happens that their cleaning person, like their usual weekly cleaning person at my house sitting house, they usually can have her come the day that I come, which is so crazy. It's like so nice that they do that for me. They always have her come the day I'm coming. So the house is like really clean when I get there. And I have so appreciated this. They've been doing this for me for like years now. And so this time she wasn't able to come the day I was coming. And they were like, do you want her to come on Monday or do you want her to come on Wednesday when you're leaving so that you don't have to do as much stuff when you're leaving? And I was like, honestly, it's going to be really hard for me to leave the house a mess when I'm leaving. I always end up just spending a good amount of time cleaning everything before I leave. I always like to leave a place better than I found it. That's kind of just how I am when I'm house sitting, like at least the same as I found it, if not better. And I was like, well, do you want me to just do the cleaning and you can just pay me whatever you pay her? And they were like, okay. I mean, because I used to work for them. I used to babysit for them a long time ago when their child was much younger. And I used to do cleaning and organizing projects. I still do organizing projects for them sometimes. But I used to do some like light cleaning for them in the past and stuff. And I did clean houses many, many years ago. And like they know I can clean. But also I don't know exactly what the cleaning person does. So I was like, if you want to list for me what she does. I mean, I am so busy, but doing these random jobs here and there, it is helpful for my money situation and it's not a big commitment. And it's also like I can do it around everything because I'm literally just living there. So if I have time to do one thing today, one thing the next day, whatever, or if I can do it all in one chunk, that works. So it's nice that it can be like really flexible and it's just a one-time thing. So I was like, yeah, I'm able to do that if you want me to. So because of that money as well, that's also all of those reasons are why I'm $40 in the positive. And I even went to Goodwill recently because I was just like, God, I need more clothes. It's not like I don't have clothes, but I mean, I need some different stuff to wear to dance. It doesn't have to be super fancy or super cool or super trendy, but like I literally wear the same like 5 shirts, and I've been wearing the same 5 shirts for like a really long time. And, I shoot this podcast. It's not like anyone cares what I'm wearing, but I'm just like, I always wear the same thing in my dance videos and on my podcast. And I care way less about clothes than I used to. When I was younger, when I was in high school and I worked at Starbucks, so I grew up in Illinois and I don't know if you guys have heard of Woodfield Mall. It's like the biggest mall in the US or something. It's not larger in size than Mall of America, which is in Minnesota, which I've actually never been to, but it has like a roller coaster inside of it or something. And I would like to go there at some point. But I think it's supposed to have more stores than Mall of America. Like I think Mall of America like repeats stores, and Woodfield Mall has more different stores. So it's a very big mall. I don't even know if this fact is still true. Maybe there's another mall bigger now. I'm not sure. But Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg, Illinois, it's like one of the biggest malls, if not the biggest. And I, as a 16-year-old, worked at the Starbucks across the street from Woodfield Mall. It was my first real job. I had a paper route before that, but it was my first like job working with customers and that kind of thing and ringing people up and making drinks and things. And I never even went to Starbucks before that because I didn't drink coffee or anything. I did start drinking a lot of coffee after I worked there. I don't drink coffee now, but I did drink a lot of coffee and eat a lot of sugar when I worked at Starbucks for a very long time. I worked there for like 7 or 8 years at many different Starbuckses, like transfer Starbuckses when I went to college. I worked at a Starbucks in LA, all over the place. But anyway, I worked there as a 16-year-old. I didn't have bills back then. And my mom, like, she did encourage me to save and stuff. And I would like tithe, like give money to the church for off what I made and things like that. But besides that, I kind of could do whatever I wanted with my money. And I would often go to Woodfield Mall across the street right after my shift at Starbucks, and I would buy expensive clothes. I really liked clothes. I really liked buying clothes. My grandma, when she was still alive, she would spend a lot of money on clothes for me. I think I've talked about this on here before. And it was really fun going shopping with her. But I also like to shop for myself sometimes. And so I would just go there, and I would go to Abercrombie and Fitch Kids because I was so excited that I could still fit in the kids sizes at that time, which I don't really think I can anymore. It's like I'm short and everything, but I got like hips, So I'm not really like still built like a kid in that way. But back then I could get away with it. And I would go to Abercrombie and Fitch Kids, and I felt like I was getting a deal to get like a shirt for $45 instead of $65, And so I would get these cute outfits. And I remember coming home one time and showing my mom my new outfit. And she was like, "Oh, how much did that cost?" And I was like, $65 or something. And she was like, "Oh." I liked buying clothes. Anyway, all that to say, I care way less about clothes now than I did when I was younger. So I'm happy about that I've grown in that way. But I sort of miss being able to just like enjoy style and enjoy different clothes and that kind of thing. And it is hard when after a while you've been wearing the same clothes all the time. So I was complaining about that to God. And even though people have given me clothes and given me cute outfits, and that's been really fun. So God's been providing in that way. But I'm just kind of like, can I go to Goodwill and get clothes? I felt like so guilty about it too, even though it's literally Goodwill. But my money was in the negative when I did this. But again, I feel like God is just like, why don't you experiment and see if I replenish it? And I'm just like, okay. So I went to Goodwill. I just wanted to get like some new dance shirts. This is actually a new dance shirt. See, like nothing exciting. It's not like, it's just simple. This was $5. But even like these shirts for $5, I was still like, can I really do this? And Goodwill was a whole adventure. I ended up spending about $60 there, but I got quite a few new shirts. I got a couple pairs of pants, and actually I found dark brown corduroy pants that fit me so good. And I have been looking for dark brown corduroy pants for years, literally years. I used to try them on like everywhere I went. If I saw corduroy, I was like, ooh, I wonder if they have it in dark brown. I don't know what it is, but I love corduroy pants, and I haven't owned a pair in a really long time. And I just always wanted a dark brown pair of corduroy pants. And I saw them at Goodwill, and I was like, oh my gosh, wait, these are like the kind of pants I've been looking for forever. They were only $10, and you can't try them on at Goodwill. So shirts at Goodwill, I'll just put on over my shirt. I've like learned the ways of Goodwill. You just put it on over your clothes. But I've yet to go to Goodwill with like tight enough shorts to try to try on pants in the open because they don't have fitting rooms. I also feel like they would tell me not to if they saw me putting pants on in Goodwill. I don't know. Maybe you could get away with that, but I've never actually tried on pants at Goodwill. So, I mean, it's a risk when you get pants. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work, but they fit me so good. I was like, you know what? If anything is confirmation that God told me I can shop at Goodwill, I think this is it. Because I've been looking for these forever. And I can't believe I literally found dark brown corduroy pants that fit me. This is crazy. For $10. This is amazing. So I got those, got some shirts. It was this whole adventure of going to like 4 different Goodwills in a matter of a week and a half because the way Goodwill works is like I didn't want to go there that many times. I just wanted to go once and be done with it. But you have to try on some stuff at home because like you can't really try on pants there. Also, I mean, you're trying shirts on over your shirt. So maybe at home you're like, do I really like this? But the deal with Goodwill is you have 7 days to return it. And all you can do when you return it is you get credit, store credit, but you have to use it that day. Like basically, I just put my clothes, I bring my bag of clothes that I'm going to return. I ask someone at the front, like someone who works there, if they can hold them or put them behind the counter while I shop because you have to just like exchange it there. So you have to buy it that day. You don't like get store credit to use forever or to use in a month or something. Like you have to bring it back and exchange it that day. So I went through many times of exchanging because I exchanged it one day. Then I took those things home and was like, oh, I don't really like these or this doesn't really fit me. Then I had to go to another Goodwill. I kept going to different Goodwills because I was like, well, I already looked at everything at that Goodwill. I want to go to a different Goodwill. So I was driving all over the place going to different Goodwills. So it ended up costing me around $60. But I got quite a few cute things. I ended up getting this like blue puffy jacket that fits me so good and is so warm. And I really like the light blue that it is. And it only cost me $10. Everything at Goodwill is like $5 or $10. Some things are $7. Some things, if they're really fancy, are like $13. Like my really expensive All Saints like combat boots that I got for the dance show I was in, but now I just have them. Those were, I think, like $13. Oh, no, you know what? Those were actually $20, I think. I can't remember. But those were like $350 shoes originally on the website. So that was a cool find from a long time ago. But then the blue jacket that I got also looked like it was kind of a nice brand. I'm like, man, I love this coat. This is so cute. And it seems like it's really nice. It almost feels brand new. And so I'm looking at the brand and it says BP on the tag. So I Googled it. I'm like, what is BP? BP is apparently Nordstrom's, like a personal brand of Nordstrom or something like that. And I looked up that brand and the coats usually go for about $100. So I was like, okay, cool. I got this like probably $100 coat for $10 and I really like it. So that's awesome. And it literally had like no stains on it. I mean, at Goodwill, there's going to be stains on stuff sometimes. I don't know. I don't usually get stuff if there's stains unless I'm like, okay, I think I can get that out, which I did get something recently and I did get the stain out. So I was happy about that. But anyway, you just have to wash stuff, you know, it's fine. I mean, I'll take something for $100 cheaper if all I have to do is wash it and get a little stain out. Like, you know, there's some things I will not buy, but I don't want to buy stuff that looks too raggedy or anything like that. But they have some nice things there. It just takes a while. You have to really go through it. I never liked to do this in the past. I'm like, yes, I like clothes shopping, but I like when the store is spacious and you can see all the outfits really easily and you don't have to search through stuff. You just have to find your size. That was always my preference in the past. But, you know, you start to have less money or feel like you do, even though apparently God says I'm rich. And you start to really appreciate places like Goodwill. You're like, oh my gosh, every shirt is $5. This is crazy. I feel like even when I have more money, I'm just going to go to Goodwill because then I can just get more stuff, you know? But literally, you just have to look through everything. It takes time, but you can find even nicer things than you would have found if you just went to a regular store. And what I like about Goodwill is you can find any type of thing. If you go to a store, it's like one style. Like you're going to go to Target, it's the Target style of clothes. Like, yeah, they have some different things, but it's generally like there's a certain style that Target is. There's a certain style that, I don't know, where are people shopping? Forever 21 doesn't exist anymore, which is sad to me. But, you know, like Zara or wherever people are shopping in person for clothes. Are people even shopping in person for clothes anymore? I don't know. Anyways, they all have like kind of their own set style. But you go to Goodwill and you're going to find every kind of brand there and every kind of style. And you can really develop your own style instead of feeling like the store is controlling your style. So I've kind of been enjoying that at Goodwill. Just like, what do I like? I don't even care if it's in style. Like you go to a store and they're going to have what's in style right now, what's trending right now. And I'm kind of like, I don't need to have what's in style right now. I just want to have what I like. And if it's in style right now, great. And if it's not, great. I don't care. I just want to get what I like. So at Goodwill, it's like all the options. They do have stuff that's in style right now and they have stuff from the past and they just have everything. Everything's random, and I kind of love it. So anyway, I was back and forth at so many Goodwills with like, I kept trying to buy pants. I had enough tops. So I was like, I just want like another pair of pants. And I kept going home and trying them on. They wouldn't fit right. And I'm just like, ugh. And again, I really hate returning things, and especially at Goodwill, because then I have to go. I mean, it's kind of fun because you're like, get to go shopping again. But as much as I like clothes shopping, I don't like it. I don't want to do it like every day. I don't want to keep having to go back to Goodwill. So I went to so many different Goodwills. But finally, my last Goodwill to try to find, I wasn't even necessarily going to get pants. I'm like, pants are just too difficult and I need to be done. It was like my last Goodwill that I wanted to go to. And I'm just like, I can't go to any more Goodwills after this. And also because I was going to start house sitting in LA. And currently I live in Ventura County. And the one rule, I forgot to say this in case you're going to get into shopping at Goodwill. Goodwill, you also have to exchange it at another Goodwill that's in the same county. So that actually doesn't work great for me because I'm always house sitting in LA, but then I live in Ventura County. So I was like, I have to get this Goodwill adventure over by the time I'm house sitting because I'm not going to be able to exchange it, yada, yada. So I was at the last Goodwill. I'm like, this is it. I'm probably not going to get pants here because I cannot come back and exchange these. Maybe I could come back the day that I get back from house sitting, but I don't want to think about this anymore. I'm kind of done with shopping at this point. So I was maybe just going to get another shirt, but I looked through all the shirts and I just couldn't find anything I liked. So again, I'm like, okay, I guess I'll try the pants again. I don't know. So I'm holding like 6 different pairs of pants. I'm going over to the mirror. I'm trying to figure out, do these look like they'll fit me? And I kind of starting to know a little bit better what fits me and what doesn't from everything that I tried on at home at all the other Goodwills. I'm like, okay, I kind of know this is my size. Of course, every brand is a little bit different. So I'm looking at each thing and I came across these sort of like faded yellow. It's like they're like denim, but they're sort of this faded yellow color, which is not what I would normally be drawn to. Although actually I do kind of like yellow, I guess, but not necessarily for pants or jeans. But I was kind of drawn to them. They just had like a cool style and they look kind of shorter-ish. And I'm like, I feel like these wouldn't even be long on me. The brown corduroy pants, they are a tad, I mean, they fit me really good everywhere, but then they're a tad long, but it's like not that big of a deal when I'm wearing shoes. It's fine. And I could get them hemmed, but like I'm not going to, and they're fine. But these yellow pants, I was like, they're kind of like, I think they're kind of the right length and everything. I mean, maybe they're supposed to be cropped, but for me, it's not. I don't know. And they're kind of like more straight legged. And I'm just looking, I'm like, these seem like really quality. I really like them actually. So I kept comparing them to the other more normal jeans that I found and like, which one do I want? Which one do I want? But I was like, I don't know. I think these are the right size. I feel like these are going to fit me and they're kind of cool. Like, I'm like, what am I going to wear with these yellow jeans? I'm not sure, but I just really think they're really nice. They seem like really quality. I just kept thinking that. So finally I was like, this is it. I'm going to get these yellow pants. If they don't work, maybe I'll just exchange them the day I get back from house sitting or whatever. I'm going to take another risk with these dang pants again. So I get the yellow jeans or whatever, try them on at home, and oh my gosh, they fit me like pretty perfect. I wouldn't say 100% perfect, but like 90% perfect where I'm like, okay, these are cute. Like I like these actually a lot and they feel pretty good. And I'm pretty happy with this. And then I'm just looking at the tag. There's just certain ways that really nice brands brand their clothes where you're just like, I think this is quality. The way that it's just inscribed into the pant or just like, I'm like, what is this brand? It seems like a nice brand. Especially now that I'm getting into shopping at Goodwill. Now I'm like, how much money did I really save? Because those pants were $13, which is expensive at Goodwill because most of the pants are $10. And I was like, what is this brand? So anyway, I looked it up. It's called R13. I don't even know if that's like how you say it. Maybe you guys know what that is. I've never heard of it because it's way out of my price range normally. But I look up R13. Oh my gosh. These pants on this website, I mean, I couldn't find these exact pants. I'm sure they're like an old, whatever, an old style for them or whatever. But their pants on the website go anywhere from $600 to $1,000. All of their pants are like, I think some were like $550. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is why I've never heard of this brand because I would never in a million years dream of spending $600 to $1,000 on pants. But I can't believe I just got these pants for $13 and that they were the only pants that fit me out of everything I kept getting and returning. And I had literally prayed to God that he would help me find something that finally fit because I was getting so sick of going back and forth to Goodwill. And then it's like he helped me find the most expensive, fanciest, nicest pants I could find, which I didn't even know. But I had this feeling, I'm like, I feel like this is a nice brand, but I didn't know it was going to be like that nice. So it was so nice to the point where I was like, okay, God, wait. I am in the negative with money. So I spent about $60 at Goodwill. It was on a credit card because I am in the negative with money. So again, I felt a little guilty about that. Like, why am I doing this? I really felt like I needed to do this, but was this crazy? I don't like need clothes. It's not like I don't have any clothes, you know? But I felt like God was telling me, it's okay, Tracy. Like, this is part of your job. Like, this is what you do. You're on camera all the time. Like, it's okay that you're spending a little bit of money on clothes. Like, I told you you could do that. I really feel he told me a bunch of times, like, you could even have spent more money on clothes and I would replenish it. I feel like he told me that. But I was just like, is that really God? Or am I just going crazy? Am I just talking to myself? Do I just wish this would happen and that's why I'm doing it? Like, I don't know. So anyway, I started thinking, oh, maybe God wasn't really, I was like, maybe this is why he wanted me to go to Goodwill, not because I needed new clothes. God doesn't care about clothes. Like, man looks on the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart, you know, like God doesn't care about my clothes. God's probably just trying to help me find a way to get money because he knows I need money. Like, that's more important right now. So I literally was like, I should probably try to sell this stuff online. Like, people do that all the time. I've just never looked into that. I literally told one of my friends who loves thrift shopping, I told her a while ago, I feel like you should start selling clothes online. I know people that do that and they make good side money for that and stuff. And I had kept telling her to do it because she loves thrift shopping so much. I never liked thrift shopping, so I didn't really think that was for me. But I'm like, do I like thrift shopping? And then I also started thinking, do I have a talent for this? It became less about like God gave me this and more like, maybe I'm talented at this. You know, I have a lot of talents, you know, storytelling, dancing, writing, connecting with people, encouraging people, and finding really nice brands at Goodwill. Obviously, this is now my fifth talent or whatever. I'm like, God has gifted me and now I need to make some money. So I looked up the best ways to sell clothes online and came across Poshmark, which I had heard of before because I used to work with a girl at my corporate job who did that randomly on the side. She'd always be like sending packages for people that bought her clothes and stuff. And I always thought it was funny. Like, I mean, that's cool. I just couldn't imagine myself ever taking the time to do that. It just sounded like a lot of work. But I was like, well, maybe I can just see. Maybe it's easy. Like, I don't know. Okay, it is really, really easy. So if anyone wants to do that type of thing, there's different apps and stuff, but Poshmark has been around for a long time, and it's Poshmark. You probably already know what it is, but Poshmark. And yeah, you just literally download the app on your phone. You take a few pictures of the item you're selling. All you really have to do is put a price. They literally will put a title and a description for you. You can edit it if you want, but it comes up in a second and you already have it on there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is actually so easy and cool. So I put my shoes up first because I sort of like the pants and I sort of like that jacket. Those were the things I was thinking of selling because they were like nicer brands and I could maybe get some money for those. And I was like, I'm not exactly sure if I want to get rid of all this stuff. So we're going to put the boots up first and see how it goes. Now, the boots are actually already going for less on the All Saints site. So I marked them down to like $150 because they used to be like $350, but now they're going for $200 on the actual site. So I put them for $150. I then found later that it looks like you can actually get them on the All Saints site for $167. It was weird because they had the same boot two times. I was like, is one of them a different color? And one of them was listed for $200 on the All Saints site, and the other one was listed for $167. I didn't see that till later after I already posted my price of $150s, but I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to have to like bring it down to $75 or something. But after it was up for a day, I just kept thinking about it. And then I was thinking, oh my gosh, I actually think I haven't really worn those combat boots just regular. I only wore them for the show, for the K-pop Demon Hunters piece. And I was like, I feel like they would kind of look cute with those yellow pants, actually. So I literally couldn't sleep at night. It was like late at night and I was trying to go to bed to wake up early for something. And I was just like, I kind of want to get up right now and try that on and see if those look good together. So I tried on the yellow pants with the boots and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is kind of cute. And like, if the boots fit me so good and the pants fit me so good, like, I really think these are for me. I even tried on the blue coat with it, which that was not working out. I actually was like, this blue coat, I love it so much, but I'm actually not exactly sure what it goes with. I mean, it is a coat, so technically it can go with anything, I guess, but it was not going to go with that. I'm like, not with this though. But I was like, "Oh, I really like this. I'm going to take it down because I also really feel like God keeps telling me to stop trying so hard to provide for myself, that he's going to provide for me. It doesn't mean I'll never take a job or never do something to make money, but I feel like in this season, he's telling me stop focusing on trying to provide for yourself. Just let me provide for you. And when something big comes up that costs money, like your microphone or whatever, like let me provide for you. Let me do a miracle. Stop like trying to like you got to figure it out. What are you going to do? And you're all stressed out. Just let me provide for you. So even with the clothes, I felt like God said, I don't need you to do all of this. Like it's fine. I think I could have tried to sell them or whatever, but I was really excited about getting them, and I was really excited they fit me so well. And I felt like, you know what? Also, you sell used clothes on Poshmark. I mean, some people do sell new clothes. You have a little code that says like new with tags or new without tags. I learned all these things. Anyways, but most of the time they're used clothes, and obviously mine are used because they're from Goodwill. So I'm like, who's to say, why would I not wear these for now because I like them so much? And then when I'm tired of them, maybe even in a few months, I can sell them. Like I could sell them later. I don't have to sell them right now. They're used either way. They're used now or they're used later. So yeah, I just was like, this is silly. I'm just going to wear these. I just like these. So anyway, just saying, I literally did all of that, and I'm still currently $40 in the positive right now, which feels crazy. So that's why I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to go to this ballet class because also the ballet studio that's near my house that I was excited to try, and I keep telling you guys over and over again, I'm going to try this new studio. I really want to take their adult ballet classes. Well, I finally was going to try it last week, and it like wasn't there. I wanted to go to the intermediate adult class that was on Wednesdays, and it wasn't there on the calendar anymore. They only have Tuesdays and Thursdays, which are the intermediate advanced. But I was like, okay, I could still try that later. Then I went to a later week on the calendar, and no adult classes were there. And then I realized it said that they have open adult classes in the summer. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think the open adult classes are like ending. This is so sad because I never got to try it. Like I didn't really have time when the show was going on. And then my schedule was so busy with house sitting, so I was not in the area a lot. And so I just never ended up going, and I felt so sad. So that's also partly why I wanted to just go to my old studio this week while I'm house sitting and really close to it, and just pay the $25 because I would have paid about that for the other studio I was going to try too. And I just been praying a lot about taking more ballet. I really want to get my technique better, and I really want to grow in ballet. So anyway, I'm experimenting, and then going to chat with God about my money after my birthday and be like, okay, is this really what you're telling me to do, to keep doing what's in my heart and watch you replenish? Is that what we're just going to keep doing? I don't know, but it's what I feel led to do right now. Even when, okay, so the whole thing with this parasite or whatever that's on fresh produce or lettuce, or in the beginning, it was like, you shouldn't buy any produce or eat raw produce, and make sure you wash it. And it's better to get it from like a local farm than at the store. So normally I go to a regular grocery store and I use my CalFresh card as much as possible. I have less money on it now than I used to, but I still try to use that as much as possible. But because I was nervous about this parasite thing, I was like, okay, I'm going to finally try this farm. I think I talked about it on here. I passed this farm one day where you could pick like fresh raspberries there, but they also have this little store and you can buy fresh produce directly from their farm. So it's like, well, now's a great time to stop here and just get a few things. I'm like, I'm not going to get a lot of things because I think it's probably expensive, but I'm just going to get a few things so that I can feel safer eating this. And I have to eat fruits and vegetables. I can't just like stop eating that. Like my stomach starts hurting if I don't like eat that stuff. So I went there, and I was like, I'm just going to buy a couple things, maybe one or two vegetables, one or two fruits. And I see these strawberries, and they looked so good. And I was so craving strawberries. And there were like three little, I don't know what they're called, those green container things. There was three of them where you could buy a pack of three. And then there was also a section where you could buy just each one individually. And I was like, well, if I bought just one, it's kind of small. I feel like I need this to last like a week. So I kind of just want to buy the big one, but it was really expensive. It was like $15 or something. And for me, like $15 for a thing of fruit. I mean, it was a lot of strawberries, but I was just like, oh my gosh. Oh, and I asked them and they don't take CalFresh there, which, I guess that's to be expected. But I was just like looking at it like, God, can I buy this or is this crazy? Because again, I don't really have this money, but I'm just like, I really want these strawberries. And as I'm talking to God about it, I overhear these two people together and they're trying to figure out, I think, if they were going to buy all those strawberries or some other thing that was like a lot of fruit together. And the one person said to the other, well, do you think we can eat all these? Like, do you think we'll be able to eat all these like before they go bad type of thing? And I feel like God said that to me. I feel like he said, Tracy, do you think you can eat all those strawberries? I felt like God was saying, I don't need you to worry so much about the money. You literally have no money, so I have to provide everything that you buy. So it's like you have no money, but you also have unlimited money. So you don't have to worry about money right now. Just think about practicality. Like, are you really going to be able to eat all these strawberries? I felt like God said that to me in my head because I heard the other person say that. And I felt like God had me hear them say that. And then he said it to me. Do you think you can eat all these strawberries? And I was like literally talking to God in my head, like, yeah, I can. Yeah, I will eat all these strawberries. Like, I'm not going to get another fruit. I'm just going to eat these strawberries. And it's so funny because I did end up getting them. I ate almost every single strawberry. I like 4 at the end got like way too mushy because I was eating them all week. And my roommates had all this fruit they just bought too. So I was kind of helping them eat their fruit. I mean, this tough job I have sometimes living there. And so sometimes I was like, oh man, I'm kind of sick of strawberries. I've been eating them so much, but like I did finish them. And as we know, God did provide for it because we're in the positive now, but it's just kind of funny. I feel like God's just like, just talk to me about everything. Like, I don't need you to be worried about money. I don't need you to be stressed about it, but let's just talk about everything and see if it makes sense for you to get something or not. And so it's fine. I think there was grace on the fact that I got all those strawberries, but also like I probably didn't need all those strawberries. I probably could have just gotten 1 or 2 of the little cases. And so, yeah. Anyways, but even with getting that, God still provided. There was still grace on that. I'm still in the positive right now. We're still good. So yeah, but I'm still waiting on the refund from Amazon so that I can then buy the DJI mic version 2 for myself. I haven't bought it yet because I'm waiting for the refund to come back first. And fortunately, my roommate even let me take her mic with me to my house sitting place. So that was really nice of her. And so that's why I'm able to do this right now. And she's one of my biggest fans listening to the podcast. So she really doesn't want me to skip a day or to skip a week. So really appreciate that from her. Okay, so I have another crazy money story. Wow, that was like my first little topic I wanted to talk about, and I can't believe we're already like 45 minutes in. This is crazy. Okay, I have a miracle story that happened yesterday that I really want to tell you about because here I am trying so hard to trust God. I'm trying to experiment with money and see if God's going to replenish things. And I'm just like, okay, every time I do it, I'm like, is God going to replenish it again? Like, we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep going forward and see what happens. So I think I told you guys before that there's this little creaking noise when I turn my steering wheel all the way to the left. It happened. I noticed it right after I got my windshield replaced, which I was like, I don't know how this could be connected to the windshield. It's like my steering wheel. But I kept trying to listen. I even had one of my friends in my car one time and I was like, listen for it. Can you tell where it's coming from? It's like this creak every time I turn all the way to the left, but not to the right, just to the left. So we were both trying to figure out where it's coming from. I did contact the windshield place. They're so nice. This place I went to get my windshield replaced. I would definitely recommend them. So let me know if you're looking to replace your windshield. But I was like, I emailed them. I'm like, I know it's probably not related, or I don't even know if I said it like that, but I'm just like, my steering wheel has been making a weird noise ever since I got the windshield replaced. Every time I turn it all the way to the left, and I'm just like trying to figure out what it is and what's going on. So she kept saying it's probably not related to the windshield, but she was really nice. And she was like, if you want to bring it in, we'll definitely look at it and check it out and see if we can tell like what's happening. I'm like, okay. So I'm going to take them up on that because why not have 2 opinions? Because I'm probably going to have to take it to a mechanic, and I'd rather have since I don't know that much about cars, I'd rather have someone with knowledge, like more people with knowledge telling me stuff they think about my car. So I went to the windshield place, and the girl who works there is so nice. And then the technician was really nice too. And he took some time and looked at everything for me. And he was like, I can tell where it's coming from, but I'm not a mechanic, so I don't really know exactly what it is. But he took time with me. We opened the hood of my car. He was like, you can hear it coming from like right here in this section. And then he showed me like by my wheel. We listened like by my wheel. He's like, this is like where something is rubbing. So it was like so nice of him to take the time to do that, especially when I wasn't paying them anything for that. And he spent time looking at it while I dropped off my car. And then he even took time really looking at everything with me and had like such a friendly attitude. So highly recommend this place. They were so nice about it because it really was totally not related, but I just wasn't sure because it happened right after the windshield and it was so nice of them. Okay, so I'm like, I'm going to need to take it to a mechanic. I have a regular mechanic I've been going to for like 8 years, and they generally have never, as far as I know, they have never tried to upsell me on anything. Like most of the time, they don't tell me I need anything extra besides like my oil change. And they always have had good deals when I've compared the prices with other places. Theirs was always one of the best. I really liked the people that worked there. I felt really comfortable there, especially after going for a while. I'm like, yeah, I really feel like they always give me good deals. Because in the beginning, I was always calling around a bunch of places. But then I kind of got used to them and started trusting them more. And I'm like, I like these guys. Like they're good. They always do a good job. So my old place I used to go, this place is really far away from the new place I live. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, what makes the most sense for when I should go to that place so I'm not over driving constantly. Like I'm always driving. Gas costs so much money. And yes, God's been providing, but like I don't want to be stupid about like when I'm driving my car. So I planned it on a day. Well, I planned it on the day I was going to move into my house sitting house for the week, even though it wasn't even on the way. It was still out of the way. But I went there first to the car place. I called them first, was like, will you guys be able to look at my car? My wheel is making this creaking noise, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, yeah, it was really nice. They've always been really nice. So I dropped off my car, and there's a Starbucks nearby that I always go to when I used to live really close to this place where I could just go home, but I don't live there anymore. But there is a Starbucks nearby. So I'm like, I'll just go hang out at the Starbucks or whatever. And what's crazy is the whole drive to this place, which was kind of far. It was like an hour from my house to get to this mechanic that I always used to go to. And the whole drive there, I kept thinking about this friend that I hadn't talked to in a long time. I was like, because I wanted to tell her about Poshmark. So it's the same friend that I was trying to get to sell clothes, to like thrift and sell clothes because she's so into thrifting. I told her like over a year ago she should probably do that. I actually felt like God gave me that idea for her. I wasn't sure, but I was like, do you think maybe you're supposed to do this because you're so good at thrifting? And I feel like you would just make money so fast doing this. And so I had told her that a long time ago, but that was before I knew any details of like how to do that. But I had just put my stuff on Poshmark the day before. So I was like, wow, Poshmark is way easier than I expected. I want to call this friend and tell her about it, or like send her a note and be like, listen, if you're still thinking about maybe doing this, because she did say like, maybe I should do that. I'm like, you should use this app. It's so easy. Like, I think you would love it actually. So I was thinking about her a lot of the time that I was driving. I don't know why. I was just so excited. I'm like, I need to tell her about this. And it's so funny because the second I parked my car at the mechanic, I think the second I parked my car at the mechanic, I had text messages from her and we haven't talked in a while. And I was like, oh my gosh, what she's texting me right now. That's so crazy. And what else is weird is I was like, wait, she lives over here. I actually forgot she lived over there. I wasn't even thinking about her for that reason, but because she texted me and then all of a sudden, and she was talking about maybe hanging out sometime. And I was like, wait, I'm literally like right by her house right now. This is crazy. So then I was like, any chance you can hang out like right now? I'm waiting for my car to get work done and I'm at Starbucks if you want to meet me here. I'm like, I don't have a car, so I can't get to your house, but if you want to meet me at Starbucks. And so she was like, oh my gosh, I will. I'll come over. But she didn't see my text at first because her phone was on silent or something. So I'm like getting work done at Starbucks and I have my headphones in. And then my car's been at the place for a little bit because they were going to check out the situation. And the guy calls me from the car place. And so I take that call and I'm talking to him about it. And as I'm talking to him about it, my friend shows up. So she sees him on the phone. So she's just kind of like waiting. But the guy starts telling me that my struts need to be replaced, that something is cracked, like my strut is cracked or some part that's connected to the strut is cracked and my struts need to be replaced. And he's telling me this whole thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm thinking, well, I'm glad they like figured out what it was. I was kind of hoping it was like something really minor, but I still thought, maybe this is really minor. I don't know. I don't even know what a strut is. And I'm like, okay, well, like, how much does that cost? He's like, $1,100. $1,100 for parts and labor. And this place is usually like, it usually has the better deals of various places that I always end up comparing it to. And I'm like, $1,100. I'm like, well, I don't have that. Now here I am saying I don't have that. I mean, if I had to get that done, God would probably provide at some point. I don't know. But I'm just like, I don't have that. I'm like, how bad is it if I keep driving on it like it is? Because like, I don't have that. And he's like, well, it's not a good idea because it's cracked and these are wearing out. And so you really shouldn't be driving on it. It's really not safe. And I don't know. So he's telling me it's like really urgent. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, well, can I call you back in a few minutes to let you know if I want you to do that or not? Because he was like, we could do it today if you need it. And so he's like, okay, sure. So he can tell I'm probably going to call around or something. So he's like, well, I can probably get you a little discount on the labor or something. So, keep that in mind or whatever. And I'm like, okay, thanks. I'm thinking like, what kind of discount? Like I need like a 90% discount is what I need right now. So my friend is sitting at the little table outside of Starbucks with me because she's waiting for me to get off the phone. And the second I hang up the phone, I just start bawling. I just lost it. I just start crying because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm trying so hard to trust God. And why does stuff keep happening with my car? I've already spent like over $1,000 on my car recently with the windshield and with the oil change and with having to get a new drive belt and with having to pay for my registration renewal. I have spent, and the smog check. I've spent so much money on my car the past couple months. I can't believe that now they're telling me I have to spend $1,100 on this. Like, this is crazy. So I'm crying. My friend's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Like, I haven't seen her in so long. And then I'm like bawling my eyes out, like at first sight. She sees me and I'm like crying. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so upset. I can't believe this is happening. Like, I was not in a bad mood. Like, I thought worst case scenario, maybe it's going to be $100 or $200, which I don't have, but I'll just trust God will provide. He's provided for everything else. It's fine. But $1,100, I was like, no, God cannot provide for that. Like, that's not true because he can. But I was just like, that's crazy. Like, why? I was like, why is God doing this to me? Like, why is he letting this all happen at once? Like, this is crazy. So I was just like really upset. But my friend was like a really good person to talk to. She was really helping me work through it. She's also been dealing with some money expenses like for her car too. So she was like relating. And I was like, well, I have this old mechanic I used to go to all the time. That's closer. That's like on the west side when I used to live on the west side. But I stopped going to him because I moved so far away. But I'm going to be on the west side. And I was actually thinking about going there because it's closer. But I was like, I should probably go to the person I just got an oil change and a drive belt change from, because maybe they won't charge me because like I just went in. They just did work on my car. So maybe it'll be like, oh, we missed this thing, but we can fix it really easily for you and like not charge me or charge me very low. So that's why I wanted to go to that place I always go to. But I was like, at this point, they're charging me so high. I mean, I don't know if that's high or not, but it's high for me. So I think I'm going to call my old mechanic and see what they would do, how much they would charge me. So she's sitting in front of me, letting me do all this, which was so nice. We're trying to catch up, but I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of this like car drama right now. But she's like researching on Google while I'm on the phone. So that was so nice. And then she's like texting me in her notes app, like what to ask as she's hearing me on the phone. She's like, ask them this, because Google is telling her stuff and then she's telling me. So that was really nice. But I was like really glad to have that support with me that day. So I'm calling my old mechanic. I'm like, I used to go to you guys a long time ago. I actually had a different car back then, but you guys were always so great. Like, I really like them. They're like a really trusted mechanic as well. And like just lots of good reviews. And same with my current mechanic. Like, they have lots of good reviews too. And I always had good experiences with them. So I don't know. I'm like, maybe this is the price it is. But I told them, I'm like, I, have to get new struts. And I also listed some other things that are connected to the struts. I don't know it off the top of my head. I had it all written down. So I was telling him, I was like, can you guys do that? Like, how much does that usually cost? That type of thing. And he was like, yeah, we have that here. We could do it. It would be like $800. And I'm like, okay, $800 with the parts and the labor and everything. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I mean, that's still crazy. Like, I don't have $800. Like, that's still crazy. But I was glad that it was like a lot cheaper than the other guy. So I was like, okay, I can probably come in on Monday or Tuesday. So like, I'm talking to them about this. Then I call the other mechanic back and I'm like, then I'm asking him because my friend is telling me, ask specifically where the crack is and blah, 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 because we want to know if you could actually still keep driving it anyways, basically. So I'm asking him that. He's giving me all these details. He's like, if you just want to replace the part that's cracked, which he said wasn't worth it because I will have to replace the struts. It's all connected to the struts, and I'm going to have to replace the struts anyways, like very soon. So then I'm going to be paying double for labor when they're all connected. So it makes sense to do it all together instead of one thing now and pay for the labor and then do the struts like in a month and pay for that labor. So it's going to cost more. And I get what he was saying, but I was just like, okay, so how much would it cost if I just replaced the one thing? I forget what it was called. It's like the rubber mount or something that's cracked. And he said he could do that for $800. I was like, okay. I was just so honest with him. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like overly honest and maybe I shouldn't always be, but I was just like, okay, well, I have this like other mechanic and he said he would do the whole thing, including all of the parts being replaced for $800, including labor. And then he started getting really annoyed with me on the phone. He's like, well, we did all the work. We did all the work. I did all the work to diagnose it. And like, normally we charge for that. But I mean, I'm not going to charge you, but it's really just, I wish you hadn't just told them what was wrong with it because they should do the work to also figure out what's wrong with it. Because now I did the work, but I didn't charge you for that and blah, blah, blah. He's so disgruntled and annoyed. And I'm like, I understand, but I'm like, I did just take my car into you guys like a month ago. So I don't know why, like, you didn't already notice something was wearing out or tell me. Like, I go to you guys all the time. I've given you lots of money for all kinds of things. So I'm sorry this happened today, but like, I don't have money. And I said, I don't even know if I can get this done for $800 at this other place because I don't even have that money either. So I'm still going to figure it out. And I am going to ask them to diagnose it as well. I'm not going to just like, they're going to have to look at it too. So I'm like telling him all this on the phone. My friend is just sitting there like listening to all of this and he's annoyed, but he eventually calmed down. And then I was like, and then I'm asking him like, can I pick up my car in like a half an hour? Cause I still want to catch up with my friend. He's like, sure. So, I mean, honestly, I think we talked for like an hour and a half or something. And it was so nice catching up with her, actually. I almost am glad this happened because it gave us an excuse to like hang out, which we've been meaning to, but just like never had. So it was nice that I was just like so close to her house and she was free. And so we talked about all kinds of things. I mean, we talked about cars for a while, but then we talked about all kinds of things we're both going through in life and stuff. And I was just very, very encouraged by her. It was just like a really nice chat for like an hour or so. So I was really happy about that. And then she's like, okay, keep me posted on the car. Like, let me know how it's going. And, you know, I'll be praying for you and blah, blah, blah. So that was really nice. I left, you know, feeling somewhat encouraged, even though I was down about everything. And then I'm driving all the way to my house, sitting house, which is like another hour. And I am just processing all this with God in the car. And I am crying. I am crying a ton because I'm just upset. I'm like, God, why are you having all this happen at once? But then I'm like, you know what? God does do that in my life sometimes. He has a lot of things happen at once. And sometimes it's because like he needs something to happen or he's doing some sort of change. And so everything's happening at once or he's trying to tell me something or I don't know. I'm like, are you trying to tell me to get a different type of job? Like I've been talking to you about that and I kept feeling like you were telling me not to do that. But like now I have all this money. Like, are you just going to provide all this miraculously? It's like a lot of money now. And so I'm just crying. I'm upset. I feel like, oh, well, now I'm going into tons of debt. Then I started thinking, you know, maybe God just wants to do a really big miracle. Maybe he just wants it to be so out of my hands because I keep trying to control everything. I keep trying to like make it happen and like even asking people for donations and even like, you know, oh, I'll do the cleaning for the house sitting. Like, not that any of that stuff is bad, but it's like, because, you know, I'm not in that much debt, just like a little bit. I'm like, okay, if I can just do this or this or this, I can like work it out. I can figure it out. I can have enough money, yada, yada. And I feel like I was thinking, well, maybe God is allowing this crazy amount of money to go into debt now because, I mean, it's not really a crazy amount, but for me it is like $1,100 plus like more than that because I'm already a little bit in debt. So like if I'm like $1,500 in debt, I'm like, that's crazy. But at that point, it's totally out of my hands. I have no idea how to get that money. The only thing I can rely on is some miracle from God. Like I have no idea how I'm going to get that money. Nobody's ever donated that kind of money to me. Like I don't know how I'm going to pay for that. And I don't have time to do anything else unless God wants me to totally change my life. And so I am praying about that. But I don't feel like he's saying that. I feel like he's still telling me just to trust him, just to trust him. And I'm like, I don't know. And I'm still crying. But then I'm trying to praise God. I'm listening to worship music and I'm like, okay, God, I trust you, as I'm like crying. I'm just like, it's hard. I'm going through it. You know, I keep trying to trust him and I feel like I keep crossing these hurdles of trusting him. And then here I am again, like, but this is too big. Like, this is too big. This is too big for even God, you know, right now. He doesn't have $1,100. Like, God doesn't have that much money. You know, that's how I'm feeling. And as I'm driving, and I'm planning to go to my old mechanic on like Monday or Tuesday, but I'm driving on Friday. So today is Saturday. So this is actually yesterday. And I'm driving and I'm getting close to my house sitting house. And all of a sudden, I pass one of those little, I don't know, it's not little, but one of those dinosaur gas stations. I call it a dinosaur gas station. It's actually called Sinclair, I think, but they have this little green dinosaur. And I just think it's like funny. So it's like the dinosaur gas station. Anyway, the reason why I noticed it when I was driving and I was passing it is because a couple years ago, a year or two ago, I rolled over a nail or something with my car and it got stuck in one of my tires. So I had a little hole in one of my tires and I was trying to figure out where I was going to get a new tire. And I was like, oh, it's going to cost so much money. And I was trying to figure that out as I was house sitting. So I was house sitting when that happened a year or two ago. And the neighbor, who I also know because I also house sit for her sometimes, she happened to come over that morning. I don't remember why. She needed something to borrow or something like that. So she came over that morning and I ended up telling her, she's like, how's it going? And I ended up telling her like, oh, I have a flat tire. Or it wasn't even a flat tire yet. It was just like I rolled over something. I knew there was a hole or it was leaking air. And I was like, I'm going to have to get a new tire. I'm trying to figure it out. She was like, oh, just go to the dinosaur gas station. I don't remember if she called it the dinosaur gas station, but she was like, just go there. Like, it's just down the street. And she's like, you know what I'm talking about? I'm like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. She's like, just go there. One time they patched up a hole in my tire for $20. I'm like, wait, really? That would be amazing. Because I'm thinking, oh, it's going to cost me hundreds of dollars for like a new tire, da, da, da. I'm like, really? And so I was like, wait, they do that at that gas station? She's like, yeah, they do that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I went there that time and I literally just pulled in, told someone my issue right away. And within like 20 minutes, they literally also patched up my tire. They found where the hole was. They patched up my tire. It cost literally $20, what my neighbor said. And that was it. And it was done. And they were so nice. And I'm like, so I had thought to myself, I wonder if what else that gas station does. Like they have a whole garage where they like work on cars. Like you can see it. But when you look, I'm like, I don't think they do like extensive stuff on cars though. I even had Googled it because when all this stuff was happening with my steering wheel, I think I actually had thought of them because I was going to be house sitting and I was trying to figure out where I wanted to take my car. I was like, does that dinosaur gas station do stuff like that? But I Googled it and on Google it said, no, they don't do anything like that. They just do, I don't know, something really basic, but like nothing. They're not like a mechanic. So I was like, okay, that's what I figured. But I was just checking on Google. But then as I'm passing it, I look at this sign as I'm driving and I'm crying. There's tears all down my face and I'm almost to my house sitting house and I'm passing the dinosaur gas station. I'm looking at the signs and I'm like, I feel like maybe this particular one does more stuff on cars because I don't remember what I read on the signs, but it sounded like they're advertising that they work a lot of stuff on cars. And so I was like, should I like check it out? Should I ask them? But I'm covered in tears. My face is all blotchy. I'm a mess. I just want to get to the house sitting house. All my stuff is in my car that I packed to move in. And I'm almost there. And I'm like, I just want to get there. I'm like, I'll just want to get there, move my stuff in. If I want, I can come back to this dinosaur gas station. But then I'm thinking realistically, and I'm like, if I move all my stuff into the house, I am not coming back here right now. Like, I am not going to want to get back in my car and come back here. And I was praying about it. And I really felt like the Holy Spirit was like stirring my heart. Like, you need to go. You need to go to that dinosaur gas station. And I'm just like, man, I already passed it. I'm already 5 minutes past it. I'm getting closer to the house. And I felt like God said, why don't you just pull over for a minute, get yourself together and drive back there? Because I literally looked like a wreck. So I was like, ugh. I like didn't want to. I was just feeling lazy. I'm like, I don't want to right now. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess it's worth it just to ask. I'm sure they're going to be like, no, we can't or whatever. But I pulled into some neighborhood, parked on the curb and just like blew my nose, put some powder on my face, tried to make myself look a little better. I drove back to the freaking dinosaur gas station and I parked there. And then I went up to some guy that was working on a car because I didn't see anyone else around. And I was like, do you guys by any chance are you able to like change struts on a car? I like don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't even know what that is. He's like, oh, talk to my boss. And that's when I realized there's an actual desk with a guy behind it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I go there and I ask him, I'm like, you guys don't like change struts on a car, do you? He's like, oh yeah, we do. I was like, oh really? He's like, yeah, what kind of car is it? Or what year is it and stuff? And so I'm telling him my car and the year. And he's like, yeah, we can do that. And I'm like, yeah, also, I just like also want to make sure that I need to get that done. But like my steering wheel is making this creaking noise when I turn it all the way to the left and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh yeah, just give me a second. I'll look at it. So that was like really nice that he was going to look at it so fast. I was like, okay. So he comes over to my car. He's like, okay, let's get in. I'm going to drive it. And I'm like, oh. So he like just goes into the front seat. I go into the passenger seat and I have to move I have like a little booster seat. It's not a booster seat. It's just like a seat cushion. I call it a booster seat because it makes me feel tall, but I'm on it right now. But I used to have this like issue with my tailbone, another story for another day, but I got one of those seat cushions where there's kind of like this space in the back. So there's no pressure on your tailbone. And ever since I got that for that injury that I had or that issue, I just like actually just like love this seat cushion in general. It's like really nice. So I just like always use it now. But anyway, so we had to like move that out of the way so he could get into the driver's seat. And then I'm trying to tell him, I'm like, oh, well, you can just turn on the car and like turn the wheel. You can hear it without even driving. He's like, okay, well, I'm just going to drive it around and then we'll just pull it right back in. I just want to like hear the noise. And I'm like, okay. So he starts to drive the car out of the gas station and he is driving so far into the neighborhood and kind of for a little while. And I was like sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, did I just get myself kidnapped? Like, what is happening? Like, I don't know this person. I've never had a mechanic like get into my car in the front seat and have me sit and like start driving it somewhere where I don't know where we're going. And I'm like, oh my gosh, did I just do something really stupid now? I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope I survived today. Like, this is crazy. So I'm just like being really nice in the car, but in my head, I'm praying. I'm like, God, please like protect me if this guy is crazy or something. Like, I mean, he definitely appeared to work there and he was apparently the boss and he was at the desk. And like, I can't imagine he would kidnap me or do something crazy and then like have to go back to work. But like, I'm like, it's probably fine. I just got kind of nervous and I was just like praying. I was like, God, keep me safe, keep me safe. I might have just done something really stupid. I'm not sure, but here I am and this guy is driving my car. But anyway, he's driving it through the neighborhood. He's like, I just want to drive it like lightly over a few bumps so I can kind of tell like what's happening. And as he's driving my car, he's like, your car is fine. Like your car is totally safe. Like, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with your car. I was like, well, the guy said the strut or whatever piece on the strut was cracked. He's like, I don't think it's cracked. I'm like, but do you hear what I'm talking about when you turn the steering wheel all the way to the left? There's like this creaking noise. I'm like, do you hear what I'm talking about? And he's like, yeah, I can hear it. But I mean, your car is like totally fine to drive. Like you don't need to do anything to this. He's like, and then he goes, I mean, I'll check. Like, we'll go back and I'll look in the hood and I'll check. But like, I don't think it's cracked. He's like, I don't think it's cracked. I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, in the car, I also was venting to him about everything I've done on my car recently. I'm like, I literally like just got the oil change. I just got the drive belt change. I had to do my car registration renewal. I had to replace my windshield because something flew off a truck and hit my windshield and I replaced the crack, but then the crack grew and then I had to replace the whole windshield. And so I'm just kind of having like a therapy moment with him too in the car. And he was like so nice. He was like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. And that was really nice to have his support as well. And then we get back into the parking space. He looks in the hood. The first thing he says is, well, you need a new battery, if anything. I'm like, oh, great. I'm like, what's wrong with my battery? Okay. He's like, well, there's all this corrosion. So my roommate and I, when we changed the filter in my car, I did see all this like stuff on top of the battery. I didn't even know what it was, if that even was the battery, but there's all this like, I guess it's acid or something like on top of the battery. And I did notice that with my roommate and I was like, is that okay that all that is there? And she was like, it's fine. I don't know. But my roommate also, like, we've talked about how she acts overconfident about things sometimes. So I'm like, maybe it's actually not fine that all that is there. I don't know. So he's showing me like, look at all this corrosion. He's like, how old is this battery? When did you get a new one? And I'm like, I don't remember, but he's looking at it because the year is on there, I guess. So he's like, okay, it looks like this is 3.5 years old. You probably need a new battery. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh, do you guys do that here? And he's like, yeah, we have this battery, like we could do it. And I'm like, how much does that cost? And it was something like $200 to $300, which I mean, it sounds really cheap, like from what everything, all the prices I've been told today so far. But I also didn't know I was gonna have to get my battery changed. And so then I'm like, oh, because he already told me, okay, sorry, I'm telling this a little bit out of order. He already told me there was no crack. He's like, there's nothing cracked. This is not, nothing is wrong. And I'm like, so wait, what's that noise then? He's like, well, the struts or whatever it is, they're wearing a little bit. So that's why there's a little bit of noise, but it's like fine and nothing's cracked. Like you're definitely safe to drive. He's like, really, it just kind of needs lubrication. But with this car, there's not a way to like lubricate it. I'm like, well, then what do I do? He's like, well, basically it just keeps getting worse and worse. And eventually you'll have to replace it. But like, you don't have to replace it now. Like you're totally fine. Like your car, it's kind of like almost nothing. It's like the slightest noise. Like it's going to be a much bigger problem later when you actually need to replace it. But there's nothing cracked. It's totally fine. But I do recommend changing your battery. And I was just like, okay, at least it's like a lot cheaper. So at this point, I'm sort of about to just be like, okay, just do it. Like at least it's like only a few $100s instead of $1,100 or $800. But then I stopped myself and I was like, wait a second. Tracy, you need to at least Google this or something. Like, you don't just like let this guy change your battery. Like, you don't know. He could be like messing with you too, you know? So I just looked at him and it's awkward, like in person, because it wasn't even on the phone. You know, I'm like, oh, well, I think that maybe I should Google this first or something before I just like have you do that. It was like weird to say that to his face. He started laughing. He's like, yeah, go ahead, go Google it. Let me know. I was like, okay. So I'm literally standing by my car asking Google all these questions while the guy like went back to his desk. And I also just really liked him in general when we were in the car, just things he was telling me about, I don't know, just like this customer that was actually behind me in the line was kind of rude to him. And he was telling me how she's been like rude to his employees like a lot. And he shouldn't be telling me that stuff. I don't like, that's not really professional, but I liked how he cared about his employees, how he was like overprotective about them. He's like, I don't like when people treat my employees bad. Like, I really don't like that. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. Like, I don't know. I just respected this guy. Like, he was kind of funny. He was kind of a unique personality, but I just really liked him. And anyway, I'm Googling all this stuff. It does say you should change your battery every 3 to 5 years. So I do think he's right. But I was like, okay, 3 to 5 years though, like, can I try to extend it a little bit more? And Google was saying that usually when you need a new battery, your car will kind of drag when you're trying to start it, which has happened to me before. I remember when I got the new battery, which I guess was 3.5 years ago. I didn't remember when it was, but that sounds about right. And my car was starting to drag when I would try to start it, which I didn't really know what that meant. So I was thinking in the back of my head, I should probably get that looked at or something at some point, but I kind of kept just allowing that to happen. So I think my car sounded weird every time I started it for maybe like a couple weeks, but I just still hadn't done anything about it. And then one time I was at a Target in a weird area in this sketchy parking lot, and my battery totally died, and it was at night and it was scary. And fortunately, I had my corporate job at the time and I was really close by to the office, and I ended up calling them. I don't remember why I called them, if I was just stressed out or something, but I told them my situation, and my actual boss from that job, who was still at the office for some event, was like, do you want me to come and like wait for you? Because I had to call my roadside assistance that's through my insurance, which I do actually still have, which is nice. It's not too expensive. And she's like, do you want me to wait with you while you're waiting for them to come? I was like, oh my gosh, that would be so nice. So it was really nice that she did that for me. It was really nice that God provided that for me back then. And so we just had like a really nice chat for like hours. It took so long because I don't have AAA. It's just like through my car insurance. And it did take a really long time, but they did eventually come and they were able to like help me out and stuff. And then I got a new battery and it was like not that expensive and whatever. But anyway, so I tell this guy at the Dinosaur gas station, I'm like, yeah, Google is saying like it could last up to 5 years and that usually your car kind of drags when you're starting it. And I think I can probably like make it last longer. Like, don't you think? I mean, I'm like, this guy's like my friend now. So I'm just like, don't you think I can make it last longer? Like, don't you care about my money situation? Because I feel like you cared about it when we were in the car together. He was like, I mean, yeah, you probably can. It's just that sometimes it does conk out, like without, like you don't always know. There aren't always signs for it. And so it's just better to do it sooner than later so that you're not like in a weird place when it happens. And I was thinking, yeah, I was actually in a weird place last time when it happened. So I get what you're saying. Like I feel like he is trying to help me, but I'm just like, I think I'm going to just try to wait a little bit longer. I'm like, but you've been so awesome. I'd love to get your card. I would love to come back here. I really would like you to like work on my car, but I just think I'd rather wait on that and not get it done today. He's like, okay, no problem. Yeah, that'd be great. So he gives me his card, doesn't complain at all about all the time he spent looking at my car. He doesn't try to charge me anything. It was so nice. He had such a nice personality to me. And then I was even asking him, he was just like really helpful. And also it wasn't anything kind of like, there was no like flirtation or anything weird like that. I feel like I have to say that because I just felt like he was genuinely like a nice guy. Like just the way he treated his employees and just like how he treated people. He's kind of like rough. He's like this mechanic, but he kind of was just like this nice guy, like a real person who seemed like genuine. And I was like, also like about the corrosion and stuff on my battery, can I take it off? I mean, it kind of just looks like a bunch of like, I don't know, sand kind of on it, gray, like silvery sand type thing. I'm like, can I just like get a cloth or something and just like take it off of there or like brush it off? Or he's like, no, don't do that. I mean, I would never do that if I hadn't like Googled it first or something, but he was just there. So I was just asking him. He's like, no, well, what you can do, he's like telling me this. He's like, what you can do is you can pour a little bit of water and a little bit of Coke on it. I'm like, Coke? He's like, yeah, like Coca-Cola. Like we have to distinguish. I wasn't even saying it like I thought he was talking about Coke. I was just shocked that I would pour soda on it. I was like, wait, so water and Coke? He's like, yeah, just like a little water, a little Coke, and that will just like dissolve it or something. He's like, yeah, you don't want to just take it off or you don't want that on the ground or anything. Like that's a hazard or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, that sounds really dramatic. Like I don't think I could ever see myself pouring Coke and water on that. I would feel like I was pouring Coke into my engine and then I would totally ruin my car. But then later on I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? Maybe after watching a YouTube tutorial about it, maybe that could be a project for me and my roommate because we seem to like to do not funny, but necessary things on my car that end up being funny because we don't know what we're doing. But I mean, she helped me change my cabin filter, my air filter, my windshield wipers, and she is pretty good at it. So I'm like, maybe she would want to help me pour Coke and water on my battery. I don't know. If you're listening to this right now, let me know if you want to try that with me. I don't even know if I want to try that. I need to Google if that's like really necessary or if I should just like leave the corrosion or whatever. So anyway, all that to say, turns out I didn't need to spend any money on my car. So God completely solved that issue. Thank the Lord, because I was really an emotional wreck that whole day. I definitely ended up getting to my sitting house much later than expected. I wanted to get some cleaning done that day, but I was like, this is not going to happen. Like, I'm so exhausted from all of this. And I had to do some editing for my Dance Journey podcast. And I was just like, I just need to move my stuff in, clean it up enough for myself to live in here. And I just need to get this editing done. And I need to get on the couch and get out of this car. I cannot drive anywhere else today because I had a free dance class I was going to maybe go to that night. But I was just like, I cannot be in my car for 2 more hours tonight. Like, I have been in my car all day. I've driven so much. I drove so much out of my way to go to that mechanic. So two good things happened from going to my old mechanic. One was, that mechanic is so out of the way for me now of everywhere that I live, my sitting houses and my actual house. And so I'm really glad to know that I don't have any desire to go back to them again because I sort of feel like they lied to me now. And maybe they didn't used to lie and maybe all of a sudden they're lying. Because you know what? Sometimes people just have an off day and they're like, I really just want to get some money today. And, all of us have lied here and there. So just because someone lies once doesn't necessarily mean they're a liar. I do think in the past with them, I feel like they've been pretty honest with me, but it might have been an off day. Actually, when I went to pick up my car from the mechanic after hanging out with my friend, he was really nice to me when I was picking up the car, like not how he was being on the phone. And I think it's probably because he was like, shoot, this girl's going to take this to another mechanic and tell them what I said. And like, they're going to see that that's not the case. Like, I have a feeling that's why he got so upset on the phone. Cause he was like, well, I wish you wouldn't have told them. Cause he kept saying, well, I wish you wouldn't have told them what was wrong. And I did the diagnosis and you didn't pay me anything for this. And he was like so mad about it. I'm like, I've never seen them get so mad at this place. They're always like usually really nice to me. So I think he might've been freaking out because he did a little bit elaborate the problem, So anyway, but I was really glad that now I never have to go back to that mechanic because it's really out of the way. I used to like them. Now I don't like them anymore. I don't want to go to them and I don't want to drive all the way out there. So this is great. And then the second good thing that happened was I got to hang out with my friends. So all of that was good. I now really want to just have this guy at the dinosaur gas station be my mechanic. So that's cool. But also the other guy on the west side that I used to go to, I mean, he's still pretty good too, I think. So there's that. I could also find a new person that's closer to my house where I live right now. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. But now I no longer feel a need to go to my so-called trusted mechanic for 9 years. I'm over it. So, people can change and you don't have to stay with the same mechanic your whole life, basically, is the lesson, I guess. But anyway, God did provide by showing me that I didn't actually need that done. And that was his way of providing for that. Thank the Lord that he so strongly urged me to turn around and go to that dinosaur gas station, because I really didn't think they were going to be able to do anything. Even the way I asked them was like, you guys probably can't do this, right? Like, I really didn't think so. But I felt like, I think the Holy Spirit's nudging me. I'm just going to go really fast so I can be like, see, God, they can't do it. I told you, and then just go to my house sitting house. But no, God knew what he was doing. He directed me to do that, and he provided for me by showing me that I didn't need to get it done at all. So I was so happy. Oh my gosh. Tired, exhausted, but joyful the rest of the night. I was like, and then I got a lot of editing done, and I was like, yes, thank you, God. This has been a good day. What else was I going to talk about? This is going so long per usual. Oh, I did want to say that I think I'm over fast food. I normally don't get a lot of fast food, but at the place where I live now, I've told you guys that the street I drive down, it's not like the street I live on, but there's a certain street I always drive down, 10 minutes to when I get to my house. And there's so many different fast food places. And like some of them are not necessarily like bad fast food. Like I really like Jimmy John's and places like that, but the ones that are open really late, like In-N-Out and Taco Bell and that kind of thing, it is nice that they're there when I'm coming home late from dance, because I'm so hungry and I don't want to go home and like try to cook something at 11 p.m. at night. And so it's nice to be able to stop at those places. The place I really like is Wendy's. There isn't a Wendy's on that street. So when I'm out doing things, if there's a Wendy's around, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get Wendy's. I just have always liked Wendy's. I really like their chicken nuggets. They're crispy. They're good. I really like their crispy fries. And so when I was on my Goodwill adventure to all these different Goodwills, I was kind of far away from my house, like 25 minutes away, not super far, but to go to a specific Goodwill because I thought I could find something good there, which I did. Those really expensive pants that were not expensive for me. And I was leaving and there was a Wendy's nearby, and I'm like, I gotta get Wendy's. I was really hungry, and I love Wendy's. And I wasn't gonna have that much time before I had to drive to my dance class. So I was like, I don't have time to cook anyways. This is perfect. I'm gonna go to Wendy's. So I go to Wendy's. I get a 10-piece chicken nugget. Does that sound like a lot? I don't even think it's that much. I'm like, they're small. I like to get a 10-piece chicken nugget, and I got a medium fry. Okay. I get ketchup with it, whatever. So I get this. It's in my car. I just want to eat this at home because I want to eat it with the ketchup. I want to eat it with honey. I like regular honey on fries and chicken nuggets. It's something I've done since I was little. When I used to get fries and chicken nuggets from McDonald's, I would pour some ketchup and pour some actual honey, not honey mustard, just like legit honey, because they also used to have that at McDonald's. I don't know if they still have that at McDonald's because I haven't gone to McDonald's in like 20 years. But McDonald's I kind of think is gross, partly because the chicken nuggets have little fatty pieces in them sometimes. And I'm like, oh, it's really gross. And also like my stomach does not do well with McDonald's, like since I became like an adult. So I used to once in a while go to McDonald's on like a road trip or something, but soon stopped that because I was like, I don't think my body likes McDonald's. Like it's not a good thing. Anyway, but Wendy's is like classy. I like Wendy's. The chicken nuggets are always good, whatever. So I have this bag of chicken nuggets and fries in my car, and I'm like, I just want to eat it home because I want to eat it with the sauce. I can't eat it with the sauce when I'm driving. Like, it's not going to work, and I want to enjoy this, So I'm driving for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. And there was like a lot of traffic, and I'm like, by the time I get home, they're going to be cold. It's going to be cold. And I don't know if it's better to eat hot fries and chicken nuggets with no sauce or cold fries and chicken nuggets with sauce. This is the big dilemma I'm having in my car during my Goodwill adventure. Okay. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to eat cold fries and cold chicken nuggets. I'm just going to eat it in the car. Plus, I don't have a lot of time after I get home. So I'd rather have more time and not have to like eat after I get home. I have all this time. I'm stuck in traffic. I'm just going to eat right now. So I start eating it, and oh my gosh, it's so salty. Eating fries and chicken nuggets from Wendy's, maybe from anywhere, but especially from Wendy's, when you don't have sauce, like I don't realize how salty it was because the sauce covers it. But I'm like, it kind of was grossing me out. I'm like, this is like covered in salt. And like, I like salt, but this is like extreme. So I kept drinking water because I'm like, this is so salty. And then as I'm eating the chicken nuggets, there's a fatty piece in one of the chicken nuggets, like how McDonald's has. And I'm like, no. I'm like, not you, Wendy's. All these people I used to trust, my mechanic, Wendy's. I'm like, what are you doing? You never had a fatty piece in your chicken nugget ever before. This is so gross. I was like, oh my gosh, thank God it was like the last chicken nugget because I don't know if I'd be able to eat any more of them after that. Like it just really horrified me. It grossed me out so bad. And all the salt was just like, ugh. I was like, ew, I don't think I can ever eat Wendy's again. I don't even want fast food ever again. This is so gross. The next time I have a late dance class, I just need to make sure I have food ready to grab right when I get home that I don't have to cook because I'm just going to have to prepare that ahead of time because this is disgusting. And I think God probably allowed that to happen because I don't need to be eating fast food a lot, you know? But it was just like so nice and convenient. And I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world, but I was just like, yeah, maybe I've been eating a little too much In-N-Out lately. And also maybe I've been looking for Wendy's a little too much. Like it's not near my house, but everywhere I go, I'm like, is there a Wendy's nearby? It's not like I'm getting Wendy's every day or something, but like here and there. And I just think I don't like it anymore. I'm like, it's really salty. It's not as classy as I thought it was. And I will still, I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm never, ever going to get fast food ever for the rest of my life, but that definitely turned me off. And I am pretty okay with staying away from fast food for a while. I am cooking food. I am eating healthy food. This is where we're at. I feel good about it. It tastes better. Like, I don't need this junk. It's just like kind of convenient sometimes, but like I just have to think ahead so that I can also make it convenient for me, even healthy food that I cook at home. So I wanted to give you that update about Wendy's because I know I really talked them up like on 1 or 2 episodes ago. So I just want to tell you my opinion has changed. And I already talked to you guys about how there's no adult ballet by my house anymore. I've been enjoying the free ballet classes. I don't think I told you guys this tip that really helped me in one of the free Los Angeles Ballet adult ballet classes. It's called, there are actually some kids in there sometimes. I don't know why I called it adult, but it is mostly for adults. But it's called A Chance to Dance. It's 2 times a month, free ballet. They have all levels. They have intro, they have beginner, they have intermediate, which is what I usually do, intermediate. And the teacher that day, he gave this tip where he was like, when we were doing just tendus or jetés or something, he was like, try to be late with the music instead of being right on top of the music. Wait, did I already tell this story on the podcast? Maybe I already did. I don't want to tell the same story again. Anyway, I'll tell it really fast just in case because maybe I already told it before. But basically, he was saying we should try to be kind of late. Maybe I just told a friend and I feel like I said it on here. I don't even know anymore. I'm like, did I tell you that story? Did I tell it on the podcast? I don't know what's happening with any of my stories anymore. But anyway, he was like, yeah, don't go right with the music, right on the beat. Try to be a little bit late. And even though that's something that I work on or I do think about in general, because in dance class, I tend to be almost too early because I'm so on top of the beat. And I know it looks better when you drag it a little, especially in contemporary, but really in anything. Just when you're like more in the pocket or dragging it a little, it tends to always look better. But I never really thought about it in ballet because ballet is so structured. It's just like, 1 and 2 and 3 and whatever. It's just like, I don't really think about the music as much, even though I know you should because you are dancing, even if you're just doing tendus. But when he said that, I was really like, okay, I'm going to really try to do that. Like I'm going to try to actually be late with these tendus. And so I was doing that and I really felt a difference. I was like, oh, this is cool. I actually think I'm doing it so much better now like this. Like it makes sense to really focus on trying to be late. I actually thought I applied his tip so well when we did that combination. And then he looked over at my direction and he pointed what I thought was at me. And he was like, that was really good or something. And I was like, me? Because I really applied that note and I really did it. But no, he was talking to this girl that was like behind me. So that was embarrassing. I was like, Tracy, that's okay. I'm like telling myself in my head, it's okay. You did good too. You did a really good job doing that, Anyway, that's like, oh, you just never want it when you think a teacher is talking to you and it's someone behind you. That's just like, I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. You just never want to like act like it's to you and say thank you and then it's like not to you. Or if teachers are calling out people at the end of class and they just look at you and you think they're calling you out in a small group, but it's really like the person next to you. That's just like so embarrassing. I feel like it's happened to most of us. But anyways, I did just want to say that tip because I thought that was a really good tip and it's really helped me. And now I just want to apply it to everything, but I don't always think about it, but I need to. And then I go to free hip hop classes. They bring in all kinds of teachers. Some are easier than others. They brought in this teacher that was her choreography was so hard. It wasn't like the choreography itself was hard. It was just that it was really fast and there was a lot of it. The actual moves, I actually felt they felt really good on my body. And that's not always the case with hip hop, depending on the style. There's certain styles that like feel so awkward on me and take me a long time just to even get into the groove of it by the end of class. But that's always a growth thing when that happens. But this particular style, I felt like it fit my body. Like I enjoyed the style. But it was just that it was so fast. When we did it slow without the music, I felt like I really had it. And it was a lot of choreography. So I was really focusing. I was like, come on, Tracy, like get the most you can out of this class. Because I really liked the choreography. I'm like, you got to like try your best. And a lot of people in the class were really advanced. And I was like, I'm just really want to keep up with them. And I really feel like I put every ounce of energy into that class. And I really had the combo. I had the whole thing. But as soon as she put some music on, it was just like so fast. I was trying so hard. There were certain rounds that I did better than other rounds, but half the class was struggling, or 3/4 of the class. Maybe everybody was struggling, but some people you couldn't tell because they're just like really, really good. But everybody was kind of laughing about how fast it was because we were all just like, how do you even do that in that amount of time, you know? But the teacher was so good. She was such a good dancer. She was also a very good teacher. Like she did go over stuff, but she definitely taught it as an advanced class. Like she was not like overly going over stuff. And I wasn't asking many questions. Like I tried to read the room if it's a place to ask questions or not. I did ask one or two. She did allow for questions, but I mean, I probably had actually more questions than that, but she did a good job like explaining everything and she was a good teacher, but it was just very advanced. It was a very advanced combination, but I thought it was so fun. The joy I had in that class, even though it was such a struggle, just made me realize like I love this style because I don't always have this much fun learning hip hop. Like sometimes it just depends, but I'm like the fact that I'm having this much joy and I'm not even fully getting it. Like I really like this style. Like I would love to take this teacher and get better at her style. She doesn't have a regular class right now, but I'm following her. So we'll see if I can like find other classes she's doing. She just moved here recently. And I don't know, maybe that's not even where God needs me right now, but that was just such a cool class. And I was just so happy in my heart. I'm like, I can't believe God's like provided this free class for me tonight. Like I literally was thinking, how could God not want me to be a professional dancer when he provides classes like this? Like, how could I not become a professional dancer when these are the kind of classes I'm taking? I'm not even like trying to be a professional dancer, but I still had that thought. I want to teach and choreograph. I'm not trying to like book gigs, but that class was such a good class that I just had this thought, like, how could God not want me to be a professional dancer when he's giving me classes like this? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he does want me to be. Whatever. Anyways, whatever God wants, it's fine. But I had so much fun. And when I was thanking the teacher, she was just like, you're a light. And it was so funny just the way she said it. She wasn't like, but it wasn't even like patronizing or like, I mean, because I was getting the combo pretty good. It wasn't like I was like doing terribly, but also I was struggling and I was pushing myself so hard. But she was just like, you're a light. And it was just funny because like she doesn't even know me. And it wasn't even like I talked a ton in the class or even talked to her really. I literally just was saying thank you. I think I asked one or two questions the whole class. But I had a lot of joy in my heart. And so I think I might have been like smiling a lot and just like having fun. And so maybe that's what she meant. I'm just like, I don't know why she said that, but I thought it was kind of a cool compliment. I was like, oh, thanks. Like, I don't know. So that was just like a really nice experience and I wanted to share that. And then another dance thing I wanted to share. Recently I was in a class. So like I got all these new shirts from Goodwill, like exciting new shirts from Goodwill. They were all $5, you know, but I was wearing one of them in one of my dance classes and I thought it looked cute. I thought the outfit looked cute when I left my house. And then when I was in the studio looking at myself in the mirror, because you basically have to look at yourself in the mirror when you're learning a combo in dance class in a dance studio, there's almost always a mirror in the front. Sometimes they're not, which is a difficult challenge. But anyways, I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was just like, oh, this outfit is so ugly. I was like, why did I wear this? I don't know if that happens to you. I feel like it's happened to me, not like all the time, but on occasion, I'll just be like looking in the mirror and like, ew, this is so ugly. Like I'm throwing this shirt out the second this class is over. Like the second I get home, I'm putting this in the trash or I'm giving it to Goodwill. Sometimes when I'm at Goodwill and I try on something like a shirt over my shirt, and it's like really ugly, I'm like, oh, I can see why they brought this to Goodwill. I always have that thought. Like, I can see why they gave this to Goodwill. But then when I try on the nice things, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this find at Goodwill. But anyway, so I'm looking at it in the mirror and I'm like, this is so ugly. Why did I wear this? Also, my skin was looking weird, like overly pale. I don't know if the lighting was just bad in the room, but I was just like, oh, I look so bad right now. I'm like, I do not look cute. I kind of look like a pale dead person with like a very ugly outfit. And so I'm literally having all these thoughts as I'm like trying to learn the combo in the beginning of class. But I felt like God just kind of invaded my thoughts. And he's been doing this. He's been basically showing me like when I start to feel like that in class, look at that as sort of an attack from the enemy, because God doesn't think that about me. Like, God doesn't think that I'm ugly. God doesn't think my outfit's ugly and my skin is ugly and look at how ugly I look. Like, that's never how God is thinking about me. And I think God wants to challenge me to look at myself how he looks at me, instead of like all this critique and like negative stuff, which I think comes from the enemy or just from our critical selves, and also it takes away our joy in class, because like you have to look at yourself kind of the whole time. So if you feel ugly when you're feeling cute in class, at least for me, it's kind of like almost easier. Like I'm like a better dancer because I'm like feeling confident. So when I'm feeling kind of ugly, it's almost like I dance worse, because I'm just like, I just want to get out of here. I don't want to look at myself in the mirror anymore. I feel so ugly. So it just kind of ruins my experience. So when that was happening in the beginning, I felt like God reminded me like, hey, we don't think about ourselves like that anymore. And I was like, yeah. So I'm like looking at my like gross face with my baggy eyes, and it looks like blotchy and red, and like, why do I look like this? Like, and like, I don't really wear makeup a lot in general, but like sometimes it's like more obvious than other times that I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm like, man, I look really bad. So I'm looking at myself and I'm just like, no, God thinks I'm so cute. I'm so cute right now. I just started like telling myself different things. Like, no, I look great. I'm a masterpiece. God made me. And it's not like to think about myself better than anyone. I just think everyone should think that about themselves. Like, God made you the way you are. He made you beautiful. We don't need to look at ourselves and think negative thoughts and stuff like that. So I was just like, I look great. I'm fine. This outfit is fine. I'm going to learn this combo. I'm going to dance it cute, whatever. Like, it's fine. And so I told myself that. I put a smile on my face. I'm like, I'm going to smile. I'm going to look at myself like I'm the most beautiful person in the world. I am not going to look at myself like that anymore. So I just started doing that, like shifting my mind about it. And then when I saw the video later from class, I was like, oh my gosh, I actually look so cute. Like, and I don't mean that in like an arrogant way. Like, I didn't think I looked so amazing or anything like that. But I was just like, I really think that was just like an attack. It happens to me sometimes when I'm doing this podcast and when I'm editing. I'll get these like attacks of like, you say like too much. You can't even talk. You can't even get your words out. No. And like all these things. And I'll feel like, oh my gosh, how can I keep doing this podcast? How can I keep editing when I'm like not even good at it and I'm so stressed out and all this stuff? And God will sometimes tell me like, Tracy, this is not truth. This is like an attack that's happening. Like there's an attack happening against you right now. So just like pray or just like do something else for a little while and come back to it, which is often like I'll go back to editing the next day and I'll feel totally different. I'm like, oh yeah, I talk fine. Why was I like overly critical about that yesterday? That was weird. So I just like, you have to fight these voices in your head that are telling you like overly critical and negative things about yourself. Like that's not from God. And God wants us to have like godly thoughts. And it's not to have arrogant thoughts, but just like thoughts, like positive thoughts of like, okay, like I'm struggling with this, but God can help me. Or you know what? I think I'm just burned out right now. I need to take a break and do it tomorrow. Like it's going to be fine. Oh, I said like a few more times than normal. That's okay. I'll work on that next time. Not a big deal. Just like, we don't need to be overly critical of ourselves and whatever. And so anyway, I just wanted to give that little tip that if you're ever feeling like not your best outfit or something in class, or your hair's not the best, just try to like get over it and look at yourself like you look amazing and just dance your heart out. And you'll probably realize later that like you actually looked fine. It's kind of like when people think they look bad, like, oh, my hair was gross at this stage in life, or I was this weight or that, or like whatever. And then all these years go by and you look back at old photos and you're like, oh my gosh, why did I think that about myself? I actually looked great. Like, what was I thinking? I think that is similar to just like in dance class thinking you look bad and later you're like, I was fine. Like, why was I so overly critical of myself? So anyway, I just want to encourage everybody that you're all beautiful. God made us all the way he made us, and we're all beautiful, and we can look at ourselves like that. And we can also look at each other like that. So it's not to say that we're better than anyone else, but we can see the beauty in everybody, including ourselves. And I think how you see yourself, that is how you end up seeing other people. Because if you're overly critical of yourself, you might not realize it, but you might be overly critical of other people too. And so it can actually end up hurting other people, even though you're not trying to. You're just actually feeling bad about yourself, So the more we can encourage our own hearts and our own selves, I think naturally encouraging others and seeing the good and the beauty in others will come out naturally as well. So I just noticed that for myself. And I think that's just like some wisdom that God has given me. So I just wanted to share that. And then I have like 2 other little things to share. Wow, this is so long. I mean, it's kind of been going this long like every time. But anyways, Okay, lately I've been a little bit stressed out about the Sabbath. So the Sabbath, the idea of the Sabbath, well, it's a 10 commandment. There's 10 commandments in the Bible. Those are the main commandments. The main command is love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, or something like that, and love your neighbor as yourself. But then there's also like these 10 commandments. There's like a lot of instructions in the Bible, but mostly it's love God and love others. And that's supposed to encompass like all the commands. So if you do those, you're supposed to be like on track. But then there's 10 commandments. I actually know them all because there's a song I learned when I was little. It's like, I'm like, should I try to sing it? This was not my plan. I was not going to talk about the 10 commandments, but things like this always happen. But it's like, maybe I'll start it. We'll see if I can actually do it. It's like, number 1, we've just begun. God should be first in your life. Number 2 is the idol rule. Those graven images aren't nice. Number 3, God's name should be never spoken in jest. Number 4, the Sabbath's for worship and for rest. Okay, that's the Sabbath one. Number 5, we all should strive to honor our father and mother. Number 6, don't get your kicks from killing one another. These words are so weird. These aren't the actual words in the Bible, obviously. Number 7, Number 7, life is heaven when you're true to your mate. Number 8, don't steal and break this rule for goodness sake. Number 9, don't be the kind who goes around telling lies. Number 10, don't covet when you see your neighbor's house or wife. That's the list, and God insists we stay away from these sins. That is why we memorize commandments 1 through 10. The perfect 10, the perfect 10. They're just as true as they were way back when. God gave the perfect 10, the perfect 10. God gave the perfect 10. Okay, that was probably like totally off key and like not even exactly the right tune. But this is from when I was little. My roommate, I recently sang her either that or some other Bible song. And my roommate like didn't become a Christian until she was like later in life. So she's always like, did you learn that in like Sunday school or something? Like she doesn't know any of those kind of like kid Bible songs because she didn't grow up like in church. And so she always like laughs when I like know all these weird songs. But anyways, those do help me remember like all the 10 commandments, even though it's like worded in a funny way. But number 4 or something is the Sabbath. So you're supposed to keep one day of the week as a day for rest because God did that when he was creating the world. And like he wants us to work hard and do our best at everything, but he wants us to take one day of rest. And that's like really been proven to even help productivity. It's like God's giving that to us so that we can enjoy our life and also even be more beneficial when we do our work because we're rested and we're energized for it. I think this is something that a lot of us as dancers don't really understand or know how to apply, especially when you're an artist or an entrepreneur or a dancer or an actor or something like that. Like your schedule's all over the place. So it's kind of hard to be like, okay, this is the day that I don't do any work. And it's also like, what is considered work? Like I love dance class. Is that work? Can I not go to a dance class on the Sabbath? Like, so it's been a little confusing. I've talked to God about it. There is a verse in the Bible that says the Sabbath is made for man, not man for the Sabbath. So even though the Sabbath is one of the 10 commandments, I do think it's important. But in the Bible, people often criticize all the religious people. So Jesus in the Bible generally didn't really agree with the religious people, the people that were considered the most religious. He often went like against them because a lot of it was just like fake and they weren't real. So if you feel like a lot of church people are kind of fake and not real and not really loving and that kind of thing, I mean, that's been around forever since Jesus' days. And he had a problem with those people too. So you're actually on par with Jesus if you feel like that about a lot of people that go to church. But anyways, Jesus, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Jesus was like healing people on the Sabbath and doing different things on the Sabbath. And these overly, supposedly religious people would be like, why are you doing this on the Sabbath? You aren't supposed to do any work on the Sabbath, blah, blah, blah. And Jesus really challenged them with that. And he was like, the Sabbath is made for man, not man for the Sabbath. So basically like, even though it's a commandment, it is a gift to us. We don't have to feel like, oh, we have to just be like stressed about it. And there's all these extra rules. Like in the Bible, the overly religious people made all these extra rules about the Sabbath that wasn't really what God said. And so in taking like everything in context, I'm like, I think we can all talk to God about like what is best for like our Sabbath. I do think it's a really good principle to apply, and God wants us to apply it for many reasons. And he wants to give us that gift. But everybody's lives look really different, and what's considered work for each person might be different. And maybe it's even different on the week. Maybe this week this feels like work and next week that doesn't feel like work. I don't know. So I just think it's something to talk to God about. So I've been feeling a little stressed about it because I want to take that day because it is really nice to do that. But I'm like, well, sometimes I feel like I have extra rest on certain days with the way my schedule is. But then on like Sunday, which is the day I would like to take as my full Sabbath, I have kind of more going on, but I kind of had rest on like Wednesday. So it's just, and then I'm like, what's really considered rest? I don't know. So this week I have like a lot going on, especially I'm trying to like clean at the house sitting house and I have different stuff in my schedule. And I'm like, it'd really be helpful if I could do some of that on Sunday, but I'm trying to take Sunday as the day that I don't do any work and da da da. And so I was feeling stressed about it. And I felt like God was reminding me, like, Tracy, the Sabbath is made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Like, let's figure this out. And I was like, you know what I really want to do? I want to go to the beach. I went to the beach with my mom when she was here, and it made me feel like I really want to go to the beach. And now I'm closer to the beach because I'm house sitting on the west side. I really just want to go to the beach. Like, that would be like a nice Sabbath. So I felt like God said, let's plan a time to go to the beach. And that can be your Sabbath. Just like however many hours, like you go to the beach for a few hours, that can just be your Sabbath, like going to the beach. And I was like, yeah, I would really like to do that on like Tuesday morning. That would work so great in my schedule to just have like a really nice Sabbath morning on Tuesday going to the beach. And I felt like God was like, yeah, let's do that. Okay. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Then I think I'm going to get some work done on Sunday because it just makes more sense with my schedule this week. But maybe I'll still have some rest on Sunday too. But like, I think my main Sabbath time will be Tuesday morning. I'm going to go to the beach. So I don't know. This is not in stone. We're going to see what happens. And some people will not agree with me. There are Christians that think like you really need to have like one full day. It should be on the same day every week because you really want to like put it like above, your schedule and your work. It shouldn't just go around your work. It should be something that's like holy and you keep it there for God. And like, I understand where they're coming from. And I'm not necessarily against that idea. I'm just kind of exploring it because I don't think God wants us to be stressed about the Sabbath. I don't think that's helpful. But yeah, it can be easy to get stressed when you're not getting work done. So I don't think you shouldn't take a Sabbath just because you're stressed about it. Like maybe you need to force yourself to take it and like work through that and realize you're still okay even when you don't get the work done. So I understand where people are coming from when they're like, no, you should just like set a day and just like make that the day. But I think as an artist, when your schedule is so all over the place, I think it's a little harder. So for now, I feel like God and I have talked and we're like, let's just pick a Sabbath moment for the week. If that's like, we're going to go on a hike with God, we're going to go to the beach, we're going to even just like talk on the phone with a friend for a few hours or watch a movie or just something that's more restful. Like I spend time in the morning journaling and reading the Bible like almost every single morning. So that's sort of nice and restful, but I do that every day. So that's not really like a Sabbath for me. So I'm kind of trying to think of something a little bit different that's restful, besides just like journaling and reading the Bible, but just because I do that like all the time. So yeah, I was like, I'm going to go to the beach this week. This is going to be my Sabbath. And hopefully I actually do it because I really do want to do that. And I just wanted to give that little idea out there. Again, I am not a theologian or someone. If you don't agree with me on this, that is fine. You don't have to. I'm not even telling you necessarily should listen to me, but like this is just a podcast of me sharing my life and things I'm exploring. And there's stuff about the Bible that I don't always understand. And so I talk to God about it. And then I kind of experiment with what I think God is telling me. And then we see how it goes. I'm like, I think God and I talked about this. I feel like he's giving me peace about this idea. And that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to see how it goes. That's kind of my whole life. I do feel like I hear God, but can I say 120% that was for sure God? Like he spoke out of the clouds and said, this is God. Like, no. But I know from my whole life experience that like I often feel like I hear God and then I do something and I feel like he confirms it and like shows me that I heard him. And the Bible often talks about how God's sheep hear his voice. Like those that follow God know his voice. They know what he's speaking. Like you can tell the difference between God speaking something to you and like Satan trying to speak something to you, or even your own self and just like your own like fleshly desires. So there's a battle between the flesh and the spirit. And I'm still memorizing Galatians 5, which is where it talks about the flesh and the spirit battle. It's Galatians 5:13-26. I could probably try to say it right now, but I'm going to butcher it and I'm going to take too long. And this podcast has already gone really long. So I'm not going to say it on this podcast, but it is on my list to say at some point because I'm still trying to memorize it. It's just taking me kind of a while. And then I also want to do one last shout out to my roommate. So I live with two people. They're a married couple. The guy has a brother with very fast internet, and I wanted to do a shout out to him because last week because all the problems happened with the mic and it took me extra long to shoot the podcast, and I was already doing it the last minute on a Monday, and because I try to release them on Tuesday morning if possible, and the internet at my house that I live at in the boonies takes 14 hours sometimes to upload an episode, especially when I'm trying to upload it to 2 sites at once, like YouTube and Spotify. And so the guy in our house, the husband, I try not to say people's names for some reason, but anyways, he's like, yeah, my brother he's like a gamer and he has like super fast internet and he lives close by, but he like pays for like crazy fast internet. So if you ever need it, you could probably just like go and like pull into his driveway and just like upload what you need to upload. And I was like, that's so weird. So they joked with me about that a while ago, but I was like, that's kind of crazy, but like, okay, good to know. But I never have had to do that. But then it was really last minute and I was like, it's fine. If I don't get it out Tuesday morning, it's fine. But then my roommate was like, we can all go to my brother's house and I'll just call him right now. Do you want to go over there and like upload it there? I'm like, it's going to be at like 9 or 10 p.m. because I still have to finish editing. He's like, well, let me call him and see if we can do that. And I was just like, okay. Like my roommates are so overly helpful to me. It's like really crazy. It's really nice of them. And it's really nice of God who put me there to live with them. It's like so crazy. But yeah, so it was literally 9 or 10 p.m. at night and we ended up driving over there. His brother was like so nice about it. I was like, yeah, come over. And we went over there and I uploaded my episodes in 15 minutes. It was really nice and really thankful to that gamer with fast internet that I can now, if absolutely needed, go over there. Hopefully I won't need to keep doing that because I'm going to have this done before the last minute. And also when I'm house sitting, they have faster internet so I can like do it there and everything. But yeah, just shout out to him. Thank you for letting us do that last week. And I think I'm finally done talking. Wow. I mean, I'm definitely not done talking. I'll just like keep talking, but I'm going to be done talking on this podcast. I'm going to turn it off. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am ready to get back to my house sitting house and edit this because that's what I'm doing today. And yeah, that's it. So I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.